It's time now for the Pig and the Hen.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen Show.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen Show.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
Boom, chickadee chanka danka. How's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky episode of the Pig and the Hen Show. You know, with Henry Hotspur here, as you can see, joining us live from Guangzhou, China. How's it going, Henry Hotspur?
Absolutely fine. There's nothing cheeky about it at all. It is scheduled every Wednesday. You know what time it's happening. It's the Pig and the Hen Show. As I said, not cheeky. It's brilliant.
Well, you've given it a little bit of a cheeky start there, Hen, I must say. Anyway, shout out to everybody that's already stopping by and waiting in here. You're a bunch of bloody legends. I want to give a shout out to the Primot, Josh Drain, Alex the Rinconator, Ian T, Demir Lacina, Morgan Freeperson has just become a member. Welcome to the Bacon and Egg Brigade there, Morgan Freeperson. You bloody legend. Me and Henry have always enjoyed your name on YouTube as well, so thank you very much.
Absolutely. It's pretty much, I can't help but think Morgan Freeman, and it's just like, you know, I mean, just come out with some of your spiel, you know. Like, it doesn't matter what Morgan Freeman's saying. He could be saying something that I don't agree with, but it will still sound brilliant. You know, he's got one of those voices. So, Freed person, I know you're not Morgan Freeman, but, you know, I'm just going to pretend you are Morgan Freeman because, you know,
well, I'm guessing it's a play on the words of the name of Morgan Freeman, saying, you know, it's a gender-neutral Morgan Freeman, if you like. Morgan Freeperson, do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, what sort of Shawshank Redemption? Is it Shawshank Redemption? Isn't it? It's got to be a shout out to that in some ways. Clever.
Clever, very clever. It's got many layers, that one. Griffo Chaz, he says, I'm feeling a prime Pig in the Hen Show today. Nice one. Eagle, Nicola, Mrs. Piggy is getting in here. Thank you so much. Great to see you, love. Rudd Boy says, welcome, Morgan. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for joining that, the Bacon and Egg Brigade. That is awesome. Gungshi says, welcome to the Bacon and Egg Brigade. Always great to see Gungshi. Pavel Bick, Muhammad Ali, Kevin Tobin, Ted Zavala, Alex Smiley, Ryan Jackson, Arthur Ovus. Bloody hell, there's a whole bunch of you bloody legends in here. Rachel Manchester, thank you very much for getting in here and stopping by. I probably missed somebody, but either way. Also, Kungshi has showed his support before the show's even got going and sent over a bit of support. So thank you so much, Kungshi. And he's also commented with a message saying, the tingling in my loins can only mean one thing. It's time for another Pig in the Hen Show. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Gungers.
It's almost too much.
Too much information, Kevin Tobin says, "What?" Let's just start with Kevin Tobin's question here, because he says, "What was the score in the Spurs game last night?"
I don't know. Let's put it back on Kevin. Did you say Kevin Tobin? Yeah?
Correct.
Is that right? Now, he shares the surname with the actor that plays the bad guy in Saw. Yeah. That absolute legend. I just wanted to say, you know, I think that is something Tobin. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. That actor, he's a great actor. I mean, he was in Saw, but he was in 24, the TV series. He was in Stargate SG-1 back in the day. You know, a bit of a TV actor, but certainly Saw made him. Yeah, something Tobin. I can't remember his first name, but yeah, legend of an actor. Anyway, sorry, what are you saying?
About
Tottenham Hotspur.
He just wanted to know what the score was. He obviously doesn't know what the score was in the game last night. You know, Champions League, RB Leipzig versus Spurs, second leg. I mean,
don't accuse me of trying to change the subject or anything. You know? Did you
we're just
gonna saw pig, do you?
I'm not into Saw, to be fair, mate. I prefer different sort of masochism on a football pitch, usually when Jose's in charge. That sort of thing, mate.
Oh, do you? Yeah, well, what can I say? Come on, we've just lost Steve Bergwijn, right? You know, I think he was pretty sure he was like our best goal scorer. He certainly looked our best threat in front of goal. I don't know the exact stats since we've lost Kane, since we've lost Son. He's obviously out for the rest of the season. I mean, we started this game. I watched it this morning. I didn't actually get up at 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning to watch the whole game. But I did get up this morning. First thing I do, even before I brush my bloody teeth, I'm watching the football, right? Not eating anything, not drinking anything. I wake up, think, fuck, the game's been on. I've missed it. I'm not even going to look at my phone. I just need to see the game. So I stick it on. We concede early on. I'm thinking, bloody hell, we need to score 2 now. We concede again. And I'll be honest with you, Bacon and Egg Brigade, I could not handle to sit through the whole 90 minutes knowing that I could just skip through it. We're 2 goals down. I could see from the way that we opened the game, the first 20 minutes, we weren't in the game whatsoever. Leipzig was all over us. They're fresh. They're right. They're doing fantastically well in the Bundesliga. This is a team that's basically come from nowhere. They got no history. Okay, let's get that straight. Okay, but on the pitch, good players, good young manager, fresh. No specific injury problems. Just winning game after game after game in any competition they're playing in right now. We got Jose, basically Jose right now is the captain of the Titanic. Yeah, it doesn't matter who you get in charge of that ship going down. It's just hit a fucking iceberg, right? Jose
Who's Kate Winslet, mate? Who's Kate Winslet?
Afloat. Jose, what he's doing is he's jumping on a lifeboat with some of his best crew members, and he's thinking, right, let's just try to forget about this little saga and concentrate on the next ship that's leaving Ireland next year, because that's basically what's going on right now. It's disgusting, but bottom line,
iceberg right ahead.
We don't have the best players. We don't have the best players. It doesn't matter how good a captain we've got or a manager, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. I mean, you can take the piss. You could have taken the piss if we had our best players out last night. But there's obviously serious issues at Tottenham Hotspur right now.
Yes, well, Mr. Gungers thinks Jose is the iceberg, Henry.
Does he? Does he now? Well,
I have to agree with him, mate.
So.
Well,
so what you're saying is Poch, steered the Titanic into Jose. No, that didn't happen.
Should have stuck with Poch, really. Poch was proven over years at Spurs, to be fair. Poch had a little bit of a jitter, and after getting them to a Champions League final, and they just didn't stick with him at all. And they've given Jose the reins just because he's got a big name, and he's come in and he's not improved them really, mate. They're still, what are they, 8th in the league right now? Come on.
8th, yeah, we love that 8th position, don't we? Hang on a second, right? Hang on. Okay. Bottom line, Poch, I was going to say Pep then. Poch had Kane, he had Son, right? And we've lost those 2 players. Any manager that comes to Tottenham Hotspur and loses those 2 players is in for a melt job. It's as simple as that.
They just don't want to play for Jose, mate. They're pulling a sickie, mate.
I've been saying this for years. We've got some good players, but without those 2 players, we are not the same side. Nowhere near. I've been telling the Bacon and Egg Brigade for years that we need to have backup for Kane. When he's out, Son fills the position. When Son's out, who fills the position? I don't know. New signing Bergwijn looks all right, looks decent enough. He's out till the end of the season, and suddenly you're pointing fingers at Jose. Do one. Sorry, Ganchi, but
I'm loving your support of Jose.
I'm before the show, but that's just what it is, isn't it?
I'm loving your allegiance with Jose. I mean, I understand it from one point of view. He's not had long in the job. He's come in there. Spurs were what? I don't know where they were when he took over, like 13th in the league or something. They were having a bloody calamity under Poch, to be fair.
This is what I mean.
Yeah, but listen, Jose's come in and he had a reasonable start, but then, he's got some injury problems. Any manager would be affected not having Son, Kane, and those guys right now. 100% he would be. But he's supposed to be this big-time manager. He's still got a decent squad of players there. Like, why can he not play a certain way? Why can he not get the team to do better than they did yesterday? I mean, you're getting bashed up 3-0 and stuff like that. But the annoying thing is, it's just like, classic Jose. It's too defensive style, mate, except that you're actually shipping goals. So Okay, there's no Kane,
It's not
there's
just,
no
it's not
Son.
just them
Well,
players.
what about Ole Gunnar
Forgetting about
Solskjaer's
Musa
middle of the
Sissoko.
season period when we had no players at all in the midfield? We had all sorts of injury problems, and you've got to manage that. You've got to make adjustments. You've got to get the best out of other players. Why is there not some awesome young player that, you know, that he's promoted through the ranks like Ollie has with Greenwood or Williams or Lampard has with this Gilmore, or, you know, these type of guys that he's having to pluck out and bring on, and he sees the talent, gives them an opportunity, they shine. Why is he not managing it like that then if there's injury problems? Don't tell me Spurs don't have a reasonable amount of depth to be able to, you know, still do better than they did yesterday. I just think it was an all-round bad performance.
We don't have a striker. We simply don't have a striker. The closest thing to a striker we've got is Lucas Moura, who's not a striker. And the other closest thing we've got is Parrott, right? Who is a 17-year-old. He might be 18 now. I think he's still 17. I'm not sure. Who's not ready. Jose said he's not ready. He's too young. He's not ready.
And that's classic Jose.
To
you
fill
know,
those boots.
he's reluctant to give the youth players an opportunity, I think. I mean, he's always argued the opposite, but, you know, his history would say that he likes to buy experienced players. He likes experienced players. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to benefit Spurs in the long term either, to be fair. I think you're only seeing United really benefit since he's gone in terms of the youth development of the club. So, yeah, anyway, that's just one aspect of it. Fair play. I like how you're so, you know,
What
pro
you're trying
Jose
to say
still.
is
Because I was
Jose's
actually...
shit. That's what you're trying to
Well,
say. You're trying to say Jose's a rubbish
my
manager.
personal opinion of him.
Despite his history, and Tottenham are never going to win anything under Jose, and we're better off getting rid of him now. Is that what you're trying to say, Pig? You're pissing me off.
I'm thinking end of the season, try and get Pochettino back. I mean, come on.
Oh, really? Go grovelling back to the pot.
Yeah. No, I just think that he's a vastly experienced manager. He's a fantastic manager. If you're talking about over the last 2 decades, is he not the most successful? If not, then it's, Pep. He's definitely one of the most successful managers in that period. So you can't argue with the CV. Even when he was at United and we had a bit of a struggling squad in the first season, he still won us 3 trophies, Mickey Mouse trophies, but he still wins trophies. That's what Jose Mourinho does. But I just think that maybe this moment in time, he's a little bit over the hill. His defensive style doesn't benefit anyone anymore. The likes of Pep, the likes of Klopp have taken football on a little bit in terms of the styles and what we can do. And you just cannot
to this bullshit.
You just cannot play that way with. Okay, if you've got the right players, the right system, but in my opinion, Spurs do have the right players. Just okay.
How long's he been at Spurs? How long's he been at Spurs? He's been there 2 seconds. Handful of months. Do you know what I mean? He's had one January transfer window where he's brought in one player that's already been injured. Do you know what I mean? Give him a chance. Give him a break. He needs a proper summer window. He needs a proper training period before the season starts. Give him a season. Come on, he deserves that, doesn't he?
Does he, though? Because, I didn't really want to get...
What do you mean, does he? Yes, he does.
Well, I didn't want to get straight into this, Henry, and talk, and just belittle Jose or anything.
Yes, you did. Yes,
no,
you did.
Not straight into it. Not straight into it.
Stupid hat on.
You're always dissing on this hat, mate. Do you know what I mean? This hat looks better than your hair.
Take it off. Take it off. Be a man.
I'm not going to take it off, mate. But anyway, what were we talking about? Yeah, I just think, what's he done lately? What have you done for me lately? I mean, I'm surprised that you're so pro Jose, because if I was a Spurs fan right now, I wouldn't be too happy. He's ripping his own players to shreds in the media. I know you said that you liked that the other day because you thought that, Ndombele does need a kick up the arse.
Yeah, they need a kick up the arse. When's the last time we won a trophy? Our players need to know that they're not just there for the money and for the nice brand new facilities of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium are some of the best training facilities in the world. No, we want to win stuff. Do you know what I mean? No messing around. Jose's a winner. Pull your socks up, lads. Simple as that.
Fair play. Well, I just want to duck into the comments a minute and see what people think about Jose. Obviously, it's going to be a heated discussion.
It's going to be anti-Jose because everybody's United fans out there. Pig the Hen fans, majority of you are United fans. Love you guys, but do you know what I mean? You love it. You love it. You love to see Henry Hotspur not happy about the current situation. We just got dubbed out of the Champions League. I know we're missing some great players, but I'm not in a good mood today. You can see that. You can see that. You can smell it.
Certainly can. Please do smash a like on this video if you're getting in here, lads and lasses. Do help us out on the channel. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and please give it a share on social media if you can. Alex comments with a super chat, says Gungshi is the sugar daddy of the channel. To be fair, he is pretty much approaching that. To be fair, you know, he's not
approaching that.
Well, he's going to make Hotspur his personal bitch soon.
That makes me think of the World Health Organization, where they say it's approaching a pandemic. Do you know what I mean? He's not approaching anything. He is the full-blown pandemic. Do you know what I mean? He is the sugar daddy. Just say it how it is. I'm so pissed off right now.
Alex Ridgott comments, Hen, give Mourinho a chance. Also, Hen, sack Ollie if he finishes 8th. Does Ollie not also deserve a chance?
Now, Ollie needs to go if he finishes, below 8th. But Ollie's had more time. Right?
Yeah.
Jose, right now, without those players, I mean, Spurs could be, lose every single game for the rest of the season, and he's still got his job. He's still got a season next season. Absolutely fine for me. No problem at all.
Kevin Tobin, the Tobinator, says, I hope Jose stays at Spurs long term. Mikhail Kramer says Spurs have made their bed, now they got to lie in it. Griffo Chaz says Jose in, one less team to worry about for Champions League race. The Revanite says, I'm with you, Hen. Jose deserves the summer at least. Fair play.
I want Tobin to come up with a comment about Saw, and can someone just Google that? Just make sure that I'm right. The guy that's in Saw, the guy that plays the bad guy in Saw, the actor's name is something Tobin. I'm sure it is.
Hey, stop changing the subject, mate. Stop changing the subject. Nobody cares.
Someone just clarify that. I want to know. All
it's quite an appropriate sort of analogy, though, for Tottenham Hotspur at the moment. You know what I mean? Because it's like Jose Mourinho is Jigsaw, and all the players, are having their body parts smashed up right now. They're injured. Yeah. He's got Kane and Son. He's made one of them swallow a fucking key, and he's given them a knife to fight over. This is what Jose's doing right now.
And Dombele's there with some fucked up shit on his head or something. And he's saying, what have I done wrong? What have I done wrong, Gaffer? And it's like, you need to answer that question. You've got 60 seconds. That's basically what's going on right now.
Gungas knows what you're talking about. He says Tobin Bell. That's the one, yeah?
That's it. That's his first name, is it? It's Tobin. There we go. It's
his first
Tobin
name.
Bell. Legend.
Rincon just comments, breaking news. Several European federations asked UEFA to postpone Euro 2020 until 2021 in order to complete their respective championships. The idea is being considered by UEFA. Okay, well, we'll get back into the Spurs bashing for sure, but since you brought that up, Rincon, I do just want to... there's a bit more going on. Obviously, Man City Arsenal game tonight has been postponed now due to coronavirus fears. So that is one game that's been postponed.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Arsenal and Man City have been postponed.
Yeah.
There's a full Premier League game.
Let me just double check.
Coronavirus. Bloody hell!
So
I didn't know we were already there. I didn't know we were already there in the English Premier League.
Yeah.
I did not know that. It blows my mind. It blows my mind that we're already here. We were talking about this on the Pig The Hen show last week, whilst I was still in Thailand, saying, imagine if Liverpool are not going to lift the trophy. There's a lot of banter about that. I understand that, but it's kind of like, nobody really wants to see the Premier League just grind to a halt. And you're saying that the matches are already being called off.
Yep, so the Arsenal versus City game tonight has been postponed. It says the match was cancelled after Olympiacos owner Evangelos Marinakis said he contracted the virus. It said he attended the Olympiacos Europa League tie at Arsenal on the 27th of February. The BBC understands fewer than 5 Arsenal players are in self-isolation, having been in contact with Marinakis in the tunnel after the match.
Bloody hell.
So there's actually a potential for some Gunners to, it's unlikely, but if they all shook his hand and he just coughed in his hand before and he already had contracted the virus by that date, then there's a chance that they could knows? That they could have contracted the virus. There was another player, wasn't there, Henry? You sent me something earlier about has contracted the virus somewhere. Is that correct?
Yeah, I just literally read it on Worldometer. I'd advise anyone that is trying to follow the coronavirus statistics or the figures, the situation. Worldometer will give you the most up-to-date figures as far as I know. That's what I look at. But yes, once you get past the figures part, it comes up with just a summary of, news feeds that are coming in. And it said that, Germany had its first case of a professional footballer being being infected. I don't know anything more than that. I just quickly wanted to go back to football. I mean, it's weird. You know, I was actually watching the Tottenham game. Just watching a game of football. You know, obviously I skipped through half of it because I knew that we'd been destroyed, which pisses me off. But you know, just I was actually watching the game of football in a different way. I know it sounds crazy. It's like that because we're just talking and thinking and hearing and listening to coronavirus 24/7. I can't help but watch the game and just watch the way that the players are spitting or people are shaking hands or you know, just right up in each other's faces, shouting at each other. I'm looking at the fans in the crowd, the way they're interacting with each other. You know, so some guy just, you know, grabs his missus and kisses her. Just complete normal, natural sort of stuff. But I can't help but think in my mind, bloody hell, you know, if the infection, if it's there, if it's present, it's going from left, right to centre. You could almost see it happen in front of your eyes, you know, and that's what really, really worries me and distresses me. It does.
Yes, mate. I mean, obviously, I think it's probably just coincidence, but I've woken up with the sniffles this morning, mate. It's got me sketching a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure I haven't got the you know, but it's
no.
Just something you
dry
don't
cough. What you want to look
don't
out
need to
for,
worry
as
about.
far as I know, what you want to look out for is dry cough and high temperature. If you cough in, if you got a bit of a temperature, and you don't feel well, you know, sniffles is nothing, mate. Don't worry about sniffles. Yeah,
that's not like
that's fine.
the precursor to that stuff, then, though. It's not.
I
like,
don't. As far as I know,
well,
no.
that's good,
I
then.
don't think runny nose
that is spot
is
on,
too
mate. 'Cause I
bad.
just had a bit of a runny nose. That is spot on, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's. I think it's definitely going to affect the Premier League now, Henry. Like, we're not going to. We did a whole coronavirus special on it yesterday. If you want to hear our thoughts more on it, you know, check that one out. We won't get too into it. But I think that the fact is, it is going to affect us a lot over the next few months in terms of football fans because not only, you know, you're likely not able to go to the games if they are going ahead, but they may well have to be moved, suspended, rearranged, all that sort of thing, and that goes for the Euro 2020 championships as well. So there's going to be a lot of alterations that have to be made, but I think it's just at this moment in time because it does need to be taken a lot more seriously by people. People need to just start avoiding these sort of social gatherings for sure. There's 54 of you legends tuning in. Please do smack a cheeky little like on this video if you are joining us right now and get your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. But yeah, certainly, you know, that is a concern. Certainly that's something we've got to worry about for the coming months, but it probably is a good thing if they stop it. Don't you agree, Hen?
Well, this is the thing. It all comes down to your personal point of view. I mean, there are
there's more important
things
in life than football, isn't there? Such as,
of course,
living.
Absolutely. And
yeah.
I have been the biggest talker upper, should we say, of how bad this is. From the Pig and the Hen show about over a month ago, a couple of months ago, pretty much now, where there was 132 deaths in China. We were looking at less than 5,000 infections. You know. And, you know, this isn't me trying to say, look, I told you so, or I was right. But the fact is, you know, I was on it back then. I knew, I really felt that this would turn into something massive worldwide, or certainly had the potential to.
Right.
And look where we are now. That is absolutely the case. We've gone from less than 5,000 infections in China to, I think, over 120,000 infections worldwide. And from 132 deaths at the time, I believe, to 4,000 plus deaths now. And bottom line, that was a month and a half ago. This crazily scary thing is, what are we going to be looking at in a month and a half's time from now, or 3 months' time from now? This is the problem. It's already bloody affecting the football. Do you know what I mean?
That's why people and governments
football.
do need to act now, because if we try and contain it now, that's the best course of action. You know, preventative measures are much better than healing measures or whatever. So we've got to do that. If you look at Italy, I was shocked to see the amount of cases in Italy of people that have actually died from it. Because obviously, you know, it is a lot of people that have died in Italy already, and it's spreading through the country like wildfire. The whole country's on lockdown. There's no Serie A going on at the moment. So yeah, I mean, that's going to happen, I think, across Europe. And if it doesn't happen, you're just going to see the spread of the virus a lot worse, continue to be really bad. So anyway, we won't talk too much about the coronavirus thing because it's just we're all coronavirus
I know, it's so
out.
depressing.
Do you know what
It's
I mean?
so
Yeah, it
fucking
is.
depressing. I am. And to be honest, I'm always happy to talk about it because I feel like we need to inform people. We need to talk about it. We can't run away from the reality of things. At the same time, I'm just sick of it. Kind of sick of it, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
it's horrible. It's a horrible situation. I'll say it again. This is the biggest thing to affect the world for me personally since the Second World War. I mean, let's say in our lifetimes, because we didn't live through the world wars. I think since then, I know a lot of shit's happened, but
yeah, I mean, I don't
does
agree with
affect
that
the whole
personally,
world.
but you know, I do think that
I think,
it's
well,
one
I
of those
think
things.
it's
It
heading
has
there. I think it's
it
heading
has
there.
potential, but you know, right now it's not there. But it does have the potential. It has to be sorted out immediately. Yeah. Just before we move off coronavirus, then actually, Rud Boy has commented and said, with a super chat, thank you so much there, Ruddy. He says, "I blame our Europa loss on the coronavirus." So he's obviously, you know, that's Alex Rudd. So he's a Arsenal fan. He thinks maybe the players have contracted it, and that's why they're performing so subpar.
Well, okay. I mean, well, let's back to football plus coronavirus. Okay, so what you're saying is Arsenal players have recently played Nottingham Forest. Is that correct? Is that what's happened? Because
I have no idea, mate. I don't know. But
I'm not because
a few of the
that
players
game has been
came into
postponed.
contact with the Nottingham Forest owner. That was it, in the tunnel. Like met
Right.
him, and said, "Oh hi," you know, to a few of the players. That was it.
Okay, and purely because of that's why this game against Manchester City has been cancelled.
I think
Or
so, yes.
postponed.
And those players that came into contact with him are currently in self-isolation just as an extra measure. So yes, that is the situation.
Wow.
Indeed.
I know. I've got no words for it. You know, it's just I can't get my head round it right now that it's affected the Premier League in this way. I mean, to be honest, I do feel sorry for Liverpool fans out there. I know a lot of you are probably laughing out loud right now, but you know they've had such a fantastic season, playing the best football that anyone's really seen for a long time. All in all, you know that kind of performance over a season is amazing, and you know for that to be dented. You know, and for them to not be able to just, you know, win the season without this distraction, should we say? I mean, I can't think of any other word right now. Would be disappointing for Jurgen Klopp and his side. It would have to be.
Oh, big time! Yeah, imagine having to lift it in an empty stadium or not being able to do the city tour. You know, the trophy parade and all that.
Or not even finishing the season.
Yeah.
If you're talking about games being postponed, then surely we're potentially looking at multiple games being postponed. I mean, end of the day, in Italy, they're trying to play games behind closed doors. That is no longer happening now. I think Serie A has been postponed indefinitely. That's right?
That's correct at the moment
in
in time. Yeah, and the whole country is on lockdown as well. So you're not allowed to travel around and stuff like that. They're just doing desperate measures at the moment to try and contain it now that it has spread significantly in the nation of Italy. Yeah. So I don't know, mate. You're going to see a lot of measures come into place, aren't you? It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen over the next few weeks. But all we can hope is, you know, hopefully it just magically disappears. You know, that would be the best thing for everybody. I don't think that's going to happen, but we can all hope.
Let's hope for a ridiculously hot summer, which just burns it up or something. I don't know. That might make it multiply. Who knows?
Burns it away.
Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, I was in Thailand for a few weeks, thinking that you know that's a safe place to be, but they've had 6 new infections today. I know that doesn't sound massive, but you know, is the infections are cropping up, and it was literally like a Singaporean restaurant owner in Bangkok who hasn't flown there recently. You know, he hasn't. You know, but it's not like an imported case. He hasn't been in contact with other people from infected countries necessarily, but obviously being in that line of work, yeah, he's just become infected. There's one person that's just flown back from London or from the UK to Taiwan. There's a Taiwanese national. Gunshi, you probably know about this one. Someone that's flown back from the UK that spent a couple of weeks or a week of holiday in the UK, flew back to Taiwan, and they've contracted it, and all they've done is gone to the UK and back to Taiwan. You know, so it just goes to show that you can't even go back to England right now. You can't even be in England right now, and be safe because
just public
there we go.
transport,
It
aeroplanes and
just
stuff
says
like
everything.
that, airport lounges and all that. It's just a bad place for picking these things up right now because there's people coming from all over the world and all these different areas and hanging out. But Henry,
There we go.
back to your point about Liverpool.
I'm going to go for
Sorry?
a week. I'm going to go for
Okay,
a week.
mate. No worries. I'll read some comments out
I'm going to let you speak for a little bit. Let's just try and get off coronavirus. Let's try to get off coronavirus because it's so depressing. This is a Pig in the Hen show. This is a time that we can all have a laugh and a good chat.
Though would be if Liverpool weren't allowed to lift the trophy at the end of the season. That would be absolutely amazing. Like if it got, I don't know, delayed, suspended, they just went, you know what?
Well, for you United fans, I know that.
All right, mate. Henry's going to be back in a sec. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in right now, by the way, lads and lasses. Over 70 of you legends. Thank you for being with us. Hopefully the video's coming through loud and clear. Trying a slightly different way of streaming today. Massive shout out to the new people in here as well that I haven't shouted out today yet, I don't think. Leon KM, Eddie A, Archie, Rachel Manchester, Sam Ingram, Ronaldo Owino, Ryan Verberspin 9, how you doing? MBG, Ice Queen Gaming, always great to see you. Stipmeister says, I am from Austria and was going to visit the United Kingdom versus Lask, but all events are cancelled. This is really horrible for all the people. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that game is on Thursday night, obviously tomorrow night. Manchester United Lask. I believe it's being played behind closed doors, so it's no laughing matter. It's a serious situation. And it is spreading ridiculously. Like I was talking about the Italy deaths. Crikey. I mean, it's certainly got to be contained as best as possible. Griffo Chad says, Pig and the Hen watch along for Sunday. Absolutely, as we touched on yesterday briefly, we are doing the game on Sunday. Me and Henry will be doing a live watch along for it, so he's going to be watching it from China there. I'm going to be watching it from the UK. We're going to have it set up something like this, and we're going to do the watch along that way. So there should be plenty of freaking banter. But to be fair with you, I'll just let you in with a secret while Hen's having a piss, lads and lasses. I'm going to absolutely freaking rip into him in a bit about Spurs and Jose. I'm going to decimate Jose. Anyway, let's wind him up a little bit. Shall we? Do you know what I mean? Let's poke the hen a little bit, see if we can't get any big eggs out of him. Anyway, you're a bunch of legends for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Do chuck a cheeky little thumbs up on this video and get your thoughts and opinions in. Ryan Jackson, how are you doing, Ryan? He says, I heard Harry Kane could join United in the summer. What's your thoughts, Pig? Yes, Ryan, I've heard something about this too. I mean, look, if things are not too rosy at Spurs, maybe Jose's called him a horse-faced twat or something, and Manchester United are in the market and he wants to leave Spurs. They don't have Champions League football. We do. It's a possibility. It is. But chances are, he does seem to be a proper Spurs through and through sort of player. So the chances are he would want to stay at Spurs, but it all remains how the current regime handles it. The fact is, if Jose doesn't do well with Spurs and Harry Kane wants Champions League football, then and Harry Kane wants Champions League football, then you might just see, Harry Kane wanting to leave Spurs. We're just talking about the prospect of Man United signing Harry Kane in the summer because he's being linked to United. He's been linked to United in the past, but for the last few years, Tottenham have been doing just as well or better than United, so we haven't really, it's not really been a possibility. But if Spurs finished 8th, they didn't have Champions League football. If United finished 4th, say, and we do have Champions League football, we've got this new regime, we've got some exciting players, maybe we sign a couple of awesome players in the summer, maybe Sancho comes in. Would that not maybe slightly turn the head of Harry Kane if he's thinking, if this club's interested in signing me, I can go and play there, we'll be in the Champions League, I'll be playing with some great players for United and England as well, if we sign Sancho and there's Rashford, and do you know what I mean? Like he might just have his head turned, mate. So I hope that would happen. I think he's a great striker, but if I'm talking about the realistic possibility of that, I don't see it happening. Spurs will do absolutely everything they can to keep hold of him. He's supposed to be a Spurs man, but it would be very nice. He's a great player. What do you think, Hen?
No.
Just that. Expand. Why not? Do you know what I mean? Call yourself a pundit. No. On Match of the Day, did you think that was a good performance over there, Alan Shearer? No. Next question. Do you know what I mean?
This question, I'd love it. I'd love it if Alan Shearer did that. Do you know what I mean? Especially when Newcastle were doing real bad. You know what I mean? And Lineker with his beaming smile, and he's asking, so what do you think, Alan? What do you think of Newcastle's performance? Any good? And he just goes, nah. Leaves a silence.
That would be
there.
quite
Yeah.
good. That would be quite good. But,
You know what I
but
mean?
yeah.
But anyway, it's before, it's boring, and it's boring. Another boring topic. I go to the toilet thinking I'll come back and we can start talking about something interesting, and it's just boring. Harry Kane, Manchester United. It's not going to happen. If we were, it's Daniel Levy. Remember, Daniel Levy with his Daniel levers, right? He is not going to pull the lever on Kane to United. Never going to happen. He would go to Europe if he was to go to anywhere. Simple as that. There is nothing else to say. It is basically an Alan Shearer. No.
But what if we paid more money than anybody else was willing to pay? Levy is a businessman at the end of the day. If he can reinvest that, you've seen it in the past, Tottenham selling big players they did not want to sell and then reinvesting it. I remember that season, was it? Yeah, Gareth Bale. You sold Gareth Bale, and then you bought, who was it, Lamella and a bunch of other melters. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember?
Bale came from Southampton. He wasn't Tottenham through and through. Berbatov, Michael Carrick, they're all a bit different, This is Harry Kane we're talking about. He's not going to Manchester United.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's there's better things we can do with our money anyway than Harry Kane right now. And obviously, Harry Kane's one of the best strikers in the world. That's not what I mean. But we've got Martial up there. We could do with getting another striker up there for sure. But the amount of money you'd have to spend on Harry Kane, it might be better to buy a midfielder and a winger with that sort of a money, to be fair, because you could get, more positions in the squad covered and improved. I mean, it does sort of lead me on back to, and maybe we'll leave it. I don't know, actually. No, Henry, no. Listen, Jose's absolutely shite at Spurs, isn't he, mate? I'm sorry, I wanted to get back in there. I just wanted to talk about Solskjaer in a minute as well, because obviously we've not spoken since the last show. There's been the weekend's results as well. We've got to talk about that. We've got to talk about Burnley, the draw. We've got to talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer smashing up Pep Guardiola 2-0 and, doing the business for us. United's rise from the ashes. Jose's descend into the ashes. And, to be perfectly honest...
Descent. Get it right.
Thank you for correcting me there.
At the very least, speak English. Okay?
You never said a wrong thing. No, that's it. Next time you say one thing, which you do all the time, because you're usually about 7 beers deep by the time we've done this show, I'm going to rip you up on it, Hen.
Pick me up on it. Yeah, but there we go. But I've got an excuse, on it, because, like you said, I'm 7 beers deep half the time, and I can still string a sentence.
You don't know what I've taken.
Okay.
Don't assume my freaking my blood work, mate. Anyway, no, you're a twat, mate. What was I saying? You've totally lost my train of thought here. That's it. Jose Mourinho's descending. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer smashing up Pep Guardiola. We've got Bruno. We've got Agallo. We've got the players on song. Fred's looking absolutely boss-tastic. Matic is looking great again, much better than he did under Jose for the last bloody year, even though he's Jose's golden boy, because Jose wasn't getting the best out of him. Solskjaer is getting the best out of him. Solskjaer's getting the best out of the players at this moment in time. Since we've actually had the key in midfield, since we've had the harpist pulling the strings, Bruno Fernandes, we haven't put a foot wrong. We've won 5 games that Bruno Fernandes has played in a row. He's contributed 5 goals in terms of assists and goals. The guy's absolutely ripping it up, and that is a Solskjaer signing. Some people I see blaming Solskjaer still for United, or saying that it's just Bruno saving him. Look, it's a Solskjaer signing. Solskjaer wanted Bruno. He wanted this guy. He's giving him the role to play. He's letting him. He's saying you're the free kick taker and all this business. He's actually in charge. So people are saying that it's just silly. He's signed the player. Of course, that's the player he wanted. He's playing the way he wanted. That's Solskjaer's doing. It's not just the player making Solskjaer look good, I think. So I think that argument's a little bit silly, especially if you look at the clean sheets and the run that United have been on. We've had 10 games unbeaten now in all competitions, 8 clean sheets in that time, including smashing up City 2-0 in the derby. He's doing some great things, I just wanted to hear your take on it, really, Henry, because obviously, a little while ago, it was like we were to-ing and fro-in, we were going back and forward. One week it was Jose was ahead, another week it was Ollie was ahead. But I just feel like with the injury issues Spurs have and the signing of Bruno and these guys and the current form and smashing up City 2-0, and we've got you at the weekend. We haven't even really talked about this, but United have got Spurs at the weekend. Manchester United versus Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You must be a little bit concerned right now because Solskjaer's flying high with Man United and Jose's absolutely imploding. So it can't be a good time for Spurs to face Man United, surely.
Yeah, but it's not Jose imploding. This is the thing. You're being sensational about it, Peg. You're being sensational because yes,
Injuries
you're
are a
right.
part of football.
Tottenham haven't had the best of things recently, but we're missing our 2 best players, or should we say our 3 best players, including our new signing. That is obviously a Jose signing, someone that he saw the opportunity to grab that looked good when he played, despite the fact that we're missing our best 2 players, and now he's injured. It's very difficult times right now. Hugo Lloris had a massive injury for he hasn't been back for however long. He comes back in. He has another little setback. He's out for a match. He comes back in the other night. He's not looking 100% right now. Gazaniga did an okay job when he was there. So we're talking a World Cup winner goalkeeper that is arguably one of our best players, Hugo Lloris that hasn't had the best season because of injury
You need
problems.
to stay still, mate. You're trying to rock yourself back and
Kane.
forward for comfort. You're making the microphone rattle. Stop rocking back and forward, you lunatic. It's like you're in the asylum. What have Tottenham Hotspur done to you, Henry? Just stay still, son. Do you know what I mean? You're rattling the mic. I wanted to hear what you had to say. I did. I wanted to hear what you had to say, Henry. But I had to tell you. I had to be told.
I've been stopped in mid-flow there.
That's fine. You get back into flow,
mid-flow.
but just stop rocking back and forward. Go on. What were you saying?
What was I saying? I think I should just go back to rocking forwards and backwards. Maybe it is a comfort thing. Maybe it does make me feel better. And how dare you to criticise me for doing so? Do you know what I mean? Considering the predicament that Tottenham Hotspur find themselves in, I think I could be excused for any sort of irrational behaviour right now. Don't you
I
think?
don't have a problem with rocking back and forward, honestly. You can do whatever you want to comfort it, but I do not like the rattling noise from the microphone or whatever's happening in my ear.
Look, I'm holding it.
Fantastic.
I'm holding it.
Rock away,
All right.
mate. Rock away.
All right.
Honestly.
So there we go. So I think I was explaining. Where was I? So I was explaining Lloris's issues this season. Obviously, our 2 best players over the last 5 seasons statistically out until the end of the season.
True.
Jose's made a new signing. He's done okay, but he is also out. Bottom line, what have we got to work with? We've got other decent players. Okay. We drew with Burnley the other day. We haven't absolutely capitulated. We actually, have had a few results without our best players over the last 5 games in the Premier League, should we say? What more is expected? Bottom line, we don't have our best players right now. The season, that we still got a good few more games. We're still in with some kind of chance of being in and amongst it for those top 5, top 4 positions for the end of the season. Very unlikely, but the reasons are obvious. So it's kind of like, if me and you were having some kind of gladiatorial combat situation, it was me versus you, Russell Crowe style, and I just chopped one of your arms off to begin with. Yeah, you'd probably still do me. But the fact is, you'd have a reason to complain if you didn't, wouldn't ya? And that is basically Tottenham Hotspur right now. Doesn't matter if you give you the best sword that you've got, i.e. Jose Mourinho. If you only got one arm...
That's not a fair analysis, though, mate. That's not a fair comparison.
You're going to struggle.
It's not a fair comparison. It's more like if you cut my arm off and then I replaced it with some sort of
fair.
prosthetic which wasn't as good. That's what it's more like. Do you know what I mean? Which he's got the option to do. He's got the option to do. What he's choosing to do is go limbless and then blame it on the loss of the arm.
Great. It's definitely worth an arm. Kane's pretty much 2 or 3 arms alone.
Yeah, fair enough. He's definitely an arm and a half, isn't he? Fair play to him. He's a good player for you. But, that's it. Injury problems occur in football, Hen. Like, Solskjaer throughout the middle of the season has had Pogba out. He's had McTominay out. He's had Matic out. We've had Rashford out. We had Martial out earlier on in the season. We've had all sorts of issues out there for United. So I don't really feel sympathy for any of these managers that have 2 or 3 players out right now, 2 or 3 of their first players, because we've already had that this season. It's happened to us. It's about managing, but you have to remember that Solskjaer's injury issues happened in the middle of the season there. We did struggle. There was a lot of fan backlash. People didn't understand that we had a ropey squad. We've turned it around of late. We've had players come back in. McTominay's come in, back from fitness. He scored the winner the other day. Matic came back. He's been playing the best stuff he's played for years. We've had Bruno come in, Igalo come in. So now we've had the boost. Whereas, I understand Spurs at this moment in time, but that's the whole point. Is it's about managing the season. It's about that's going to happen. You're going to get injury problems. You need players there. One thing I understand what you're saying, Henry. Jose's not had the time to build that squad how he wants it. So, yes, he's dealing with Pochettino's squad. He's dealing with what was there before he got there to a degree. He signed, Bergwijn and maybe one other guy, was it? I don't know, in the window himself. But other than that, it's still not his team. But
Gedson
that's
Fernandes.
it. Yes, Gedson Fernandes. Yeah, so he still signed a couple of decent players there. To be fair, that should be doing better. Like, where's Gedson?
He's just a young player. He's not, he's not the finished article. You can't expect him just to hit the ground running. He's certainly no Bruno.
Come on, though.
Do you know
United
what I mean?
have had to do that so many times this season. We've had a 19-year-old playing at left back a lot of the time. We've got a 21-year-old at right back. Rashford's only 21.
Yeah, left back and right back's different. Left back, right back's different. They're not so predominantly.
Okay, well, let's talk about
important
goal
in the
scorers
football
then.
team.
Let's talk about the top of the pitch, like Greenwood, who's 18 years of age, or was 17 earlier on, who's had a lot of chances this season because of necessity.
How old's Greenwood? How old's Greenwood?
He's 17 when he started playing for us this season. Now he's 18.
Okay, but he's not like the only person that you've had to play for.
But there
you
has
up
been
front
times this
recently.
season when we've had to call upon Mason in that sort of a capacity to be the goal scorer for us. He's had to shoulder a much more responsibility than he should have.
Yeah, but that's not under the pressure, knowing that you've got, let's say, okay, I know Rashford has had his injury problems, but with the knowledge that Rashford, Martial, have been out for the whole season. It's not like suddenly it's like, it's all on you, Greenwood, to play up front. That hasn't happened.
No, it hasn't happened but it has to a degree. We've had Martial out at times. We've had Rashford out for a while now. He has had to, come on and score a bunch of goals for us, and he's done it well. He's not played in every single game, but I think that the management by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is that of somebody that we've had to deal with injury problems.
But who's to say Greenwood is not a better player than Parrott? You can't just say, oh, well, Tottenham's got Parrott, so surely he's got to be another Mason.
Well, saying
Greenwood.
that he should be playing, you should be playing somebody.
If Jose says he's not ready, he might not be ready. He might not be a Greenwood.
The only way you would know...
we might not have a Greenwood.
The only way we knew Greenwood was ready is the fact that Solskjaer's allowed him the opportunity and blooded the youth and given him the chances. If you kept saying that, then you'd never get a good young player come through the ranks, mate.
But he might have seen Greenwood playing in his training sessions, in the younger.
Doesn't really matter. They've got to come in and
players.
take the opportunities.
Games, whatever
They've got to take the
is.
opportunities during the games. That's how they stay in the team. That's why Brandon Williams came in.
So what you're saying is Jose should be saying, look, Parrott, I don't think you're ready, but do you know what? Fuck it. We're going to stick you up front with the first team. And,
well, you're telling me he's got no other option.
You're going to have a few games to see what you could do.
Is that what you're saying? He's got no other option.
He has got no other option.
So then that's the option.
There
so
is
he's
no
going to get the
other option
opportunity then, or give somebody else the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? The cream rises to the top. If you give a player an opportunity and they take that opportunity and perform, that's what it's about. Sometimes a young, unknown, hungry player can actually be more effective out there on the pitch in a big game than a experienced player who's low on confidence or whatever. It's because a young player's got a lot to prove. Maybe they're an unknown entity. They can come in. You've seen it a lot. You saw when Rashford burst on the scene. You saw when Greenwood's done it. So it happens. It just doesn't happen that much for Jose because he's not one who's known particularly for giving lots of opportunities to young players. That's just a fact. But
it does worry me what you're saying, Pig. It does worry me because I'd love as a fan, as a football fan, like all of us. I want to see these young players on. I want to see him just chuck Troy Parrott on and see how he gets on. No one's expecting him to score. To be honest, we're probably expecting him to not do very well at all, especially the way that Jose goes on about him in his pre-match, post-match press conferences, saying that Parrott's not ready. Well. Jose started to sound like a fucking parrot in some respects, so I've heard it enough times. Give the lad a chance.
Speaking of parroting, it's basically exactly what you just said. Rincon's just said Mourinho doesn't play youth. He said the same about Greenwood. The only reason Greenwood emerged is because of Ollie put trust in him. Sam Ingram says, Dear Flying Pig, Billy Gilmore is a young player playing in the Chelsea team, and Gedson Fernandes should be playing because he's a signing Jose Mourinho bought in on loan. I fully agree with you. And like, if you look at Gilmore, he's a young lad. He's been boss. I think he got man of the match the last 2 games for Chelsea. That is a young 17-year-old, is he, or 16? I don't know. He's ridiculously young. He's been put in there by Lampard, and he's performing like somebody who's way above his years. Why is that? Because he's being managed properly. Lampard's getting the best out of him, and he's giving him the opportunity. He sees something in him. I'm sure Spurs have got some great talents in their youth setup that will go on now and be great players in 5-10 years' time.
You would have thought so. We've got brilliant training facilities. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing, Pig. You got a lot of influence on me. I sit here, I've got a few beers in my hand, and I keep listening to you.
I'm starting to make a little bit more sense.
I finished the Pig and the Hen show tonight. Mourinho out, isn't it? I'm almost there. You've almost completely converted me already. That's how weak-willed you.
No, fair enough. I wouldn't blame you if you did get that way by the end of the season. But to be fair, like you say, he's not had the most time. But I just think Pochettino must be absolutely bloody loving this, mate. Don't you think? Just sitting back, watching the circus in full flow, watching Jose Mourinho bashing the players.
It's not a circus. Come on.
It's a circus. Anytime Jose's at a football club, it's a circus.
I'm not in the palm of your hand yet,
He's the ringleader, mate.
I'm not in the palm of your hand yet, Pig. Do you know what I mean? There is no circus going on. We've got really good players that are unable to play right now. We're not off the rails. Far from it.
Okay, well, so, I just, from an outsider point of view, I just feel like it is a circus. I feel like Mourinho's the lion tamer that's lost his head, mate, and the lions jumped into the crowd and it's starting to bite everyone. It's like Sigmund and Freud all over again. Do you know what I mean? And that is Jose Mourinho at Spurs. It's always a circus when Jose's the manager of a football club because he brings that on him. He's not just the professional type then. He comes out, he'll say what's on his mind. You've got to hate him or love him. He'll say what is on his mind most of the time. And I think that does cause friction. I think it causes divide sometimes within a dressing room, even within a football club. If all of a sudden you think maybe your manager's being a bit harsh on one of the players publicly or whatnot, it just makes you look at him in a different light, I think. So he's always been a volatile character. It's always been a circus, in my opinion, wherever he's gone. He loves it. I think if he thrives in that situation, you can't deny his record and his trophies and all that stuff. And give him next season. I'm with you, Hen, we'll see how he does. If he absolutely mares it between now and the end of the season, finishes 13th, say, and okay, you've got some injury problems, but you're just not doing the business and you finish 13th. Would you sack him or would you keep him? 13th.
Sorry, but by the end of this
season, if he finishes 13th, regardless of injury issues, you go on a downward slope.
No, I already said. I don't think you were listening. I already said earlier in the show today that even if he lost every single game between now and the end of the season, I wouldn't want to see him sacked.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's decent commitment.
Does that answer your question?
I love that you're sticking by your manager like that. Yet when Pochettino, a man who had been at the helm for years and years and battled and built and got that club to the Champions League final, after a couple of months of melting, you were just so quick to discard. I love that you're supporting Jose, this Mr. Bean, this mercenary, this football mercenary who's come into Spurs. I love how you supported him, mate. Fair play. Your allegiances and your loyalty are
Hang on a second. You're just making me out like some kind of Poch hater. I was stood by Poch, like his biggest fan for a long, long time. We had a real bad run. When he got sacked, I didn't come out straight away saying this is the best thing that's ever happened. I wasn't like you. I wasn't like, let's buy the Moyes out shirt. Let's do some kind of, rap diss on Van Gaal. Do you know what I mean? Every time you're not happy with the manager, whatever it is, you're making songs, you're buying the clothes, you're absolutely milking it for all that it's worth. Do you know what I mean? The Flying Pig United channel becomes manager out channel for a little bit. You know what I mean? Come on. I have never been that adamant of Poch out at all. All I said was after a week. After a week to do. Yeah, after a week of crying, right, essentially, and really thinking about it, I eventually said, I think the right decision has been made. So for you to sit there and say, I just discarded Poch like he was the salt and pepper on the table that was unnecessary because the meal had already been peppered and salted, it's harsh.
Well, in the end, Levy did did discard him like a bit of salt. He chucked it over his right shoulder instead of his left, though, which is bad luck, which is why he turned out with Jose. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, look, there's 90 of you legends tuning in right now. That's awesome. Thanks so much for getting in here for this Wednesday show.
That's gone up from 54.
Indeed.
Where were you?
Where were you? They're all getting in from school now, I guess.
Legends.
They're all little kid names.
Not as legendary as the legends that were already tuned in, were ya?
The legends not as legendary as the early ones. You're right, Hen. Please do us a favour if you're new to the stream, smash a little like on this video and get your thoughts and predictions in. Henry, predictions then, because it's Man United Spurs at the weekend at Tottenham Stadium.
Oh, bloody hell.
United are in a good bit of form. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's doing some bits. Bruno
me.
Fernandes is looking like one of the best players in the league. The midfielders around him have grown in stature. Anthony Martial's balls have grown. Everyone seems to be looking very up for this task right now. You know, we're in a good run of flow. Whereas Spurs, not so much. So what is your prediction for this game at Shite Hart Lane?
Just before I answer that, because I don't like to take orders from you, Pig. You know what I mean? I'm not going to answer your question when you want me to. Okay? I only do that for Mark Sin. If Mark Sin asks me a question, I answer as quickly as I can. But not for you, Pig. Right. But what I wanted to say, firstly, has Tobin said anything about the Saw films? Probably not. You probably haven't had a chance to check. I'd like to know if he had. Secondly, I just want to quickly, let's talk. We talked a bit about Jose. I want to talk a bit about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, all right?
Sure.
And I'm not going to say a bad word about him right now because to be fair, he's made that signing. It's been absolutely brilliant. Bruno Fernandes is absolutely, completely changed the outlook of Manchester United this season. Suddenly you look like a side that really is in the midst for a top place finish. Obviously not Liverpool, but anyone else. End of the day, Leicester, Manchester City. Who are they really? They're what, like 10 or something points above you. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing. There's still a lot of games to go. Manchester United could be looking at a solid top four finish. You could be looking at FA Cup victory. You've got Norwich next. You would have had Tottenham Hotspur next, but we couldn't beat them on penalties. Okay, so you got Norwich next.
Tougher tie. It's a tougher
United
tie.
winning that one. I could see United winning that one. Why not? Okay, you've got Europa League behind closed doors potentially, which is very depressing. But bottom line, if you can continue to perform in that competition, who knows? There's a lot of United players that are still there that obviously won the Europa League under Jose. The experience is there. Just imagine if you're looking at, let's say, third place finish this season. Let's say you pip Leicester or Man City to third somehow. Okay, you win the FA Cup, you win the Europa League. You're all guns blazing. And yeah, I'd have to eat my humble pie. And I think a lot of the Pig fans, a lot of the Flying United, whatever your channels get, who cares? But a lot of the subscribers out there, and I've read some of the comments. Of people saying Ollie's, doesn't know, he's Ollie at the wheel. He doesn't even know how to drive. He's drink driving, blah, 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 blah. All of that crap, they'd have to eat some serious humble pie if that was to happen. And who knows? What's your thoughts on that, Pig?
Well, I actually don't think it needs to happen for him to justify the progression of the football club. Just to like talk about, tactics and the style of club and stuff. Like when we had Jose Mourinho, I don't want to make it about Jose, but the style of Manchester United was overly defensive. It was negative. It wasn't good. It wasn't attacking. And Solskjaer has come under the same sort of criticisms at times. But since he's had the player in Bruno Fernandes to be able to unlock teams and play a certain way, which does matter if you've got somebody of that calibre in the centre of the park taking things over. Like I always said, if we had a 20-year-old Paul Scholes 6 or 7 years ago, we'd have been okay. Because it really does. It really does matter.
Juan matters.
Yeah,
it does.
It really does matter. And I just think that
Juan matters.
That I like what Solskjaer's doing at the moment. The style of football we're playing. Yeah, sure, City outpossessed us the other day, but we still ripped them open a lot of times. We still had a lot of chances. It was attacking at times. times, defensively good at times, defensively sound over the last 10 games, 8 clean sheets, 10 undefeated. What can I say? I mean, he's improved us in all aspects, and I think it helps when you've got the tools to be able to do that. You know, he signed the defenders. The idea was to make the defence better, but it only really helps when you've got a midfield in front of them who are doing their job well. And Matic and Fred have built up a great partnership and in good form. Bruno's coming. He's been the difference. He really has. Bruno's like the catalyst to success. You can just see that he's going to be a great player for United. But, sorry, Hem, what was your point you wanted me to directly answer?
Can't remember, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just about. That's it. If people shutting people up, if we did, that's it. So yeah, it'd be great if we won something. It'd be great if we went on the Europa or won the FA Cup or finished top 4, whatever. That'd be brilliant. But even if he doesn't do that, in my eyes, he's still got us playing better football now, and has the potential to match what United fans' ambition is, which we want to win things, but we also want to play nice attacking football. I look at City and I look at Liverpool over the years. Certainly City and Liverpool this season. The last couple of years they played some outstanding attacking, attractive football, and I would have loved for United to play like the same sort of football that Liverpool plays. And for the last few years, we had Jose football, which is defensive. It isn't that type of swashbuckling attacking football, and that doesn't fit right with the ethos of Manchester United. So Solskjaer knows that. Solskjaer knows the traditions. It's taken its time. He's only had over a year to really fix this mess and get it changed. But even if we don't win anything, even if we finish outside the top 4, I truly believe that he's probably still the right man. Give him a couple more tools, give him the Sancho, give him the top-class striker, maybe another midfielder, give him some tools, and you'll probably see United do a lot better, because he's building the confidence of the players. That's what I like. His man management, he's a different style of manager. He's a kind manager. You can see that. I'm sure he gives them a telling off when it's needed, but, look at how happy Luke Shaw looks, look at how happy Matic and Fred look, and they were a far cry under Jose. They weren't happy. They were being ripped apart weekly in the press. Pogba had this big bust up. It'd be interesting to see how Pogba does if he comes back in the fold. But the point I'm making is, I just think that United's style is changing. We are progressing as a football club. He has laid the foundations with the youth and the signings, and it's going to take some time for us to get back to that swashbuckling style where every week we can play attacking against the teams we should be playing attacking against and still win. It's one thing setting up attacking, but you need the tools, the parts, in order to still win the game. Winning has to come first, of course, at this level. But that's what we want to aim for as a football club. That's what United should all be about. Attack, and keep trying to entertain the fans, and it hasn't been that the last few years with Jose here. So I think that Spurs are in for that ride, even though they've got great attacking players. I think that they do and will play defensively with Jose Mourinho going forward, and I think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at United is going to get us playing some attractive attacking football over the next year. So that's how I feel. I think that either way, those fans should try and get behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They should, even though they've been dickheads about it, let's just draw a line underneath it. I don't want to hear this negativity shrouding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer right now. Just support him. Just admit that you were wrong. Admit that maybe you got it wrong. Admit that he schooled Pep 3 times this season and all that stuff. You've got it wrong, lads and lasses. You might, in the future, end up getting it right, but right now it looks, okay, fair enough. I just don't think so. We've tried big names over the years and they haven't worked, so... It's easy to say that, though. Football's just opinions.
Well, I have to say, I've enjoyed your eloquency. You've said it very finely there, poetically. Okay, but when you were talking about Jose there, let's go back to Jose. I mean, I can't disagree with anything that you said about Ole Gunnar there, and how Manchester United are looking right now and for the future. I can't disagree with it. I have to be honest. But, Jose as a defensive manager, yes, there's obviously truth in that. But, if Jose was so defensive and so good at that, then why did Tottenham Hotspur leak goals every single bloody game? Literally, pretty much, I can't remember the last game that we played where we haven't conceded within the first 20 minutes. That's how bad it's been under Jose at Tottenham. If I'm going to look at the bad points, because I feel like there have been games where we come fighting back, and it's often the way that we have to be fighting back. It's only literally the first handful of games where he came in and we looked really confident, really good, and played some great football. Actually won games easily. Since then, any results we've had has been like, well, we've conceded first. I've never remembered a time like it where we don't look like we're playing attacking football. We're leaking goals left, right, and centre. Jose's head in hands more than he is happy. The happiest I see it is at pre-match press conferences where the bad result hasn't come in yet, and then the result comes in, and I don't want to know. It's not good. It's not good at the moment. I know the players are not there. We've covered that.
Yeah.
But in terms of the style of football, what I want to see, what we need to see is that extra where he brings in the defenders he wants, he solidifies things, he makes the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium a fortress, and let's just see if we can win some trophies. Because if nothing changes from now, then you might be right. Jose is lost his special touch. I hate to say it, but I can't. Right now, it's very difficult to say because he doesn't have his team. He is lone Poch's best team. So
we'll see what happens next season.
It's difficult for him.
If he doesn't completely implode for the rest of the season, I guess we'll see what he can do next season with a fresh start. It's still Pochettino's season in a way. That's why we couldn't judge Ollie on last season because he was mopping up after Jose. I just want to read this comment from Glenn, who's come at me with. He says, "This is crazy talk. Ollie plays the most basic tactic in football, counter-attack. Every team can sit back and counter, and he can play 5 at the back. No, we haven't got it wrong. Sorry, Pig." I totally disagree with you, Glenn. And I don't disagree with you up until the January transfer window. I think he's had to play that way in certain games. When you're coming up against cities and the top teams in particular, with the players that United had and the squad injuries and the style of football that was previously there, but certainly the squad injuries that we got and just the inferior squads coming up against the top teams, you have to play that way. You have to play that way to get something from the game. Because chances are, if you leave holes at the back, if you're flooding forward, if you're attacking, you're going to get ripped open by the extra quality that the opposition have. That's why we set up defensively against the likes of City over the course of the season and Chelsea. But you know what? He smashed up Frankie Lamp 3 times. He beat Pep 3 times. It calls for that in different games. And I know what you're going to say now, Glenn. You're going to say, yeah, but he hasn't ripped open the lesser sides, which is kind of true. But let's see what happens now. We've seen since Bruno's come in, he's got that key in the midfield to unlock defences. We'll probably see a lot more attacking style. One thing I would say in that City game that we just witnessed at the weekend, we've played counter-attacking football. We've had way less possession than them, but we created a lot more chances. We ripped them open. We were direct at times. We used our quality in the midfield with Fred and Matic and Bruno doing a great job transitioning from defence into attack, and we made them pay. That's football. You can't go and win and attack every single time like a Klopp unless you've got the tools. And Klopp's got the tools. Don't make no mistake about it. He's got the great flying wing backs. He's got the great solid defence. He's got the leadership in Jordan Henderson in midfield. He's got the great forward line in Mane and Firmino and Salah. That's why they can play that way. If he didn't have those players, if he had to go back to a few years ago when they had some, I don't know, Ryan Babel or something, he's probably you can't rely on those players. Well, they can't rely on those players going forward that much. So I love your opinion, Glenn. Everybody's got one. It is opinions, but I disagree, my friend. But we've got 105 Legiondes tuning in right now, so we smashed the 100 mark. Legends, do chuck a like on this video if you're tuning in live. Give it a thumbs up. If you could give it a share on social media, that would be absolutely sensational. But
I just had some serious deja vu. That's some deja vu just there of you saying some shite about Ryan Babel, and suddenly we're on over 100 current viewers right now.
Seriously, proper deja vu.
Yeah, I did. It was weird. It was kind of like this has happened before.
We've never said that before.
Talking about Ryan Babel, and suddenly, there we go.
That's really
stuff.
weird.
What's your problem with Ryan Babel? He was
bang average, mate. Come on. Anyway, I just wanted to compare it. He's the first shit Liverpool player that popped into my head. Do you know what I mean? But I did want to just go back to the email real quick and say to Gungshi, thank you so much again, mate, for sending in another PayPal donation, you bloody legend, with a comment here, and it actually takes us back to the point that I wanted to make, Henry, as well, before we even... we went off on that tangent, and we were going to talk about...
Have a drink of water, you've been talking a lot, haven't you? Don't you need that drink of water now?
We were going to talk about the predictions for the game. So Hughes commented and said, Mr. Gungshi, he's commented, I predict 3-1 to United, Martian and Bruno to score for United, Ali to get one for Spurs. So that's what I wanted to get back on, because 10, 15 minutes ago I asked you, and you avoided it like the plague or like coronavirus. I asked you, what is going to be the prediction for the game at the weekend? And you failed to answer me.
Well, firstly, more importantly, I mean, do you not need to hydrate? There we go.
Are you happy now, mate?
Is that water, is it?
I didn't need to hydrate, no.
Is that water? Did Tobin say anything about Saw
Mate,
films?
I'm not going to go through all the comments. Let's stop changing the topic. I see what you're doing here. You're not going to fool me. We've got to talk about it.
You see what I'm doing here, don't you?
Predict the game. What's your score prediction for the game? You're at home against United. Jose's band of merry melters versus Ole Gunnar's flying
We're going to lose. We're going to lose because we don't have the players. We don't have the confidence right now. United are on the up. You know, I have to say it's going to be 2-0 to United.
Oh.
2-0 to United, because I just don't think Spurs just can't score at the moment. Not without those players. You know, if we do score, it's just going to be a penalty, or it's going to be, you know, Vertonghen with his head in. You know, when we got a corner in and we've done well, and the defense of the opposition switched off. That's basically what we're seeing at the moment. I'm seeing no creativity, and I'm just seeing nothing from Tottenham at the moment. You know, it's counter-attacking football at times, but the shite kind,
no
where
focal point
it's
up
not
top
actually
there, is
working.
it? Yeah.
The kind of we're able to kind of break out a little bit when the other team's attacked, and it soon fizzles out, and then we're on the back foot again. That is what's happening at the moment. So yeah, I mean, you know, Manchester United, I think Bruno Fernandes with a goal, and I think Martial with another. 2-0 to United.
Fair play, mate. I love your prediction. I love the honesty there. I can't deny that. You know, respect to you for saying that, Henry. Rachel Manchester, shout out to you. Made me laugh. Comments. They've got their legend striker Parrot. I'm shaking in my Uggs.
Yeah, all right, Rachel. All right, Rachel. Calm down.
That's absolutely brilliant. I love it. DJ Samuel says, I think Mr. Bean can manage Tottenham better.
What, the British one rather than the
rather
Portuguese
they've already
one,
got the Portuguese one, do you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, no, my prediction then, just to get onto it, fair play, you said 2-0. Do you know what I'm going for, Henry? And I this is actually genuinely how I feel. I'm not just saying this for bravado or to be a dickhead. I think we're going to smash you up 5-0, son. I think we're going to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and we're going to lay it to waste, mate. I think we're going to, you know, I think you're going to see Bruno Fernandes lay, you know, a trio of logs down on the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium grass there, mate. Honestly, we're going to lay it to waste. And I think it's going to be just a stunning performance from us. I look at Spurs' recent form. I look at their players looking shaky as injury. You know, some of them are knackered. You can see that. Like, I feel for Jose in one way. They do genuinely have injury problems.
That's true.
They do genuinely have fitness concerns. That is true.
Absolutely.
It plays well into United's favour, that, and also the fact United are flying high. I just think Bruno ripping them open, Spurs shipping goals, like you say, not being able to defend very well. Even Jose's going to set them up to try not to lose. That's how I feel. But I still feel like United have just got that added quality now in the centre of the park to rip them open. Martial looking good, Bruno looking great, Matic and Fred looking brilliant. So I just got a feeling we're going to absolutely dominate you, and it's going to be one of those classic United versus Spurs encounters of back in the day where we ripped them to shit. That's what I'm going for.
Okay, that's not going to happen. Like I said, 2-0.
Okay,
not
okay.
5-0.
Well,
Jose would not let that happen.
okay, but Leipzig beat them 4-0.
If it did happen, I think it'll be. I don't think Jose's ever lost a game like that in that manner. I don't think that's ever happened.
That's got to have happened. It's got to.
Let us know if it's happened where he's been ripped at home 5-0.
Yeah, well, maybe not then, but
he's been at in his recent career.
Jose Mourinho, worst defeat. I did just now you mentioned that Ancelotti the other day received his worst defeat ever as management, 4-0 from the Chelsea versus Everton game. Chelsea beating 4-0. That was his worst ever result. So Ancelotti's a bit of a nutbag, to be fair. He's never been smashed worse than 4-0 before.
He is. There we go.
Yeah. Right, here we go. Jose's 5 heaviest defeats as manager after Tottenham drubbing. That's the name of the freaking article. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, no, hang on. This is actually an article when Tottenham beat United 3-0. So that's actually not good. Oh, how times have
That's
changed.
One of the worst
Oh, how times have changed. Sorry, mate. Barcelona beat Real Madrid 5-0 in November 2010. That was his biggest humiliation as a manager to date, it says there. So that is obviously a bit of a spanking. Dortmund beat Real Madrid 4-1. City beat Chelsea 3-0. Chelsea beat Manchester United 4-0 in 2016. So, you know, it's nothing new, mate. It's nothing new. Jose's getting smashed up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what, at home? At home, though?
At home, yeah. I don't know. Let's have a look. They're on the list there. So, Chelsea, that was away. That was away. Barcelona, that was away. They're all away. Fair enough, but...
There we go. So what you're calling for would be
Oh, it would be
unprecedented.
unprecedented. But it does happen, though. Clear. Man City came to Old Trafford with the Balotelli, why always me, and they smashed us up 6-1. So it does happen. If you're outclassing the opposition, we played Arsenal, we bashed them up 8-2, I think, pretty sure. No, I forget where that was now. But either way, you know, like that is, it does happen. If you just outclass an opposition, it doesn't really matter what ground you're at, does it? And I think Spurs are a little bit ropey, bit tired, a little bit knackered. I'm just going for 5-0. I'm going for it. That's what I'm going for.
Okay, well, I went for 2-0. It looks like it's going to be United victory as far as we're concerned. But we will be doing. I mean, I think you've already. If we talked about this, it's definite. It's definite. Bar some kind of emergency on my part or your part. It's going to happen. We're going to be doing our first ever live watch along. Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United. And it's going to be something special. I know we've watched games together before. I think some of the England games. I think we've probably done Tottenham United side by side back in the day. But this is before the Pig and the Hen was really officially running. So, you know, remember this. This is going to be happening. Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United. Please do tune in to witness visually and audibly, is that a word?
Ah, you fucked up!
The clash. Right, well, I called it, didn't I? I called it. I questioned it.
Audibly, possibly. I don't know. Anyway, no, you're right. That was a confusing one.
No, you don't even know, Pig. You don't even know if that's a word
audibly.
Or not. You know what I mean?
Anyway, listen, we've got a super chat here from Matty Rush. Sorry I missed it from earlier, mate. He says, sorry, lads, stuck in a meeting. Josie to be potted hen. Catch up later. So, yeah, I mean, I think Josie's going to get potted right up. Don't you think, Hen? He's got a question for you, Josie, to be potted, Hen?
What do you mean,
I don't know, I guess, like...
What, is that some kind of new...
Maybe it is. I wasn't too sure, but...
What is that, Matt Rush?
It could mean knocked down a hole, or it could mean planted in the ground,
Well,
a bulb.
I've been pretty potted up in my youth. Is that what you're talking about?
That's it.
Matt Rush?
He's going to get potted right up as Josie. But anyway, thank you so much for that, mate. We also missed one from Rud Boy, who said, are the bottom three automatically relegated? I have no idea what you're talking about, mate. If it's the Premier League, then of course.
What he probably means is, are they going... Well, of course the bottom three do get rid. He knows that. What he means is, are the current bottom three going down? I think that's what he means, surely.
Yeah. No, I don't think so at this stage. I think there's still a lot of football to play. I've got a feeling West Ham's Moisey's going to go for the melt job this season, personally. We'll see. I mean, Moisey's West Ham. Right, okay, I think we should crack on with the next part of the show then, Hen. Do you, unless you've got anything else, football related you want to talk about?
No, we should crack on. I mean, I'm getting pretty messed up on the beers. I'm on the snow beers. Did you know snow beer was... I'm sure I read this. I don't know if this is the current annual statistics, but certainly a couple of years ago, snow beer was the best-selling beer worldwide, just because obviously the population in China is so massive that it was actually
a lot
the
of Game
best-selling
of
beer.
Thrones fans probably buying it up as well.
I bet you the 100 and something people listening right now, if we've still got those many legends listening right now, I bet you none of you have even ever seen, smelled, tasted, touched a snow beer in your life.
No, I certainly haven't. Some of them may have. They'll get in there, I'm sure.
Well, let me know if you have.
Let's get on with the...
I'm on the snow beer. It's probably...
Where are you going?
I'm going to get a bottle open.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Right, okay, let's get on with the next part of the show then, Henry Hotspur. Thank you very much for being with me, everybody who's tuning in and being with us. 109 of you legends in here. Smash a cheeky little thumbs up on this vid. If you could give my tweet on Twitter a retweet with the link to the live show as well, that would only help out the Pig of the Hen show. So thank you very much. That is the best thing you can do to support the channel, really, is just sharing these videos and chucking likes on it and getting involved in the live chat and all that good stuff. Oh, Rudd says, I meant if the Prem ended today, would the bottom three go down? I don't see how they could just end the Prem this season and give the title to Liverpool. That's not a fair season then, is it? Because even though, okay, you could end it after they've mathematically won the league. But that's so harsh on the teams that are in the lower third at the moment. They couldn't do that. The protest would be unreal. They'd have to continue at a later date. Surely, I mean, you can't just stop the season 10 games early, can you?
Oh, yeah. You can't just say, right, Liverpool win now.
Yeah.
We all know they're going to win. Let's just let them win the trophy. And, you might be happy because I think as it currently stands, would United get Champions
We would,
League
yeah.
football?
I personally would be happy,
just wouldn't feel right, would it?
No, you can't do that, though. But I personally would
It'd
be
be
happy.
sick and wrong. You can't do that.
No.
You have to play every other game in every other team in the Premier League, home and away. It's as simple as that.
I'd rather the whole season was chalked off and we started again next year than that. Do you know what I mean? Imagine if that happened, they just said, look, we can't finish the season. It's not a proper season. We're going to have to just start again. Reset. It'd be amazing, all those Liverpool fans. Oh, my days.
That'd be awful.
Right, okay, let's get on with the next part of the show then. Thanks very much for that there, Alex. It's time for the melter of the moment.
Pig and Hen's melter of the moment. The Pig and the Hen's melter of the moment. What a melter.
Over to you, Henry Hotspur. I'll let you take the lead on this week's melter of the moment.
Okay, my melter of the moment is Elon Musk. I don't want to just bang on about coronavirus, but I can't help it. He comes out with a tweet, I believe, last Friday, basically saying panic about the coronavirus is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got that quote right. I think that's exactly what he tweeted. Yeah. Obviously, he got like 1 million plus likes or whatever on that tweet. I mean, what a disgusting, stupid tweet to make. For someone in his position, I mean, I think he's lost billions. I mean, Tesla has lost billions of sales revenue for the last couple of months, but because of the coronavirus, as far as I know, obviously he's lost billions in paper wealth because of the coronavirus. I mean, I kind of understand where he's coming from. Of course, it's dumb to him because he don't want to be losing all that shitload of money that he's got, right? But for him to say that it's dumb, I mean, think about the amount of people there. I mean, just some of the business owners in China. If you own restaurants, if you own hotels, people are going bankrupt left, right, and centre. I mean, I don't even want to get into Italy and Europe and what's going to happen. But dumb in what way, Elon Musk? What do you mean dumb? What, dumb because people are dying? Dumb because people,
I know what he meant.
Struggling to survive economically already or going forward. I think Elon, you're pretty dumb for coming out with your shite. Actually, just don't comment with your thinking you're Iron Man or something bullshit. Because a lot of young people look up to Elon Musk thinking he's some kind of Avenger. You're not Elon Musk. You're just another human being.
I've got some fundamental problems with.
Sorry, you're an Elon.
I've just got some fundamental problems with what you said there. I mean, I just think that Elon's a very smart man. Yeah, and smart people can say dumb things.
Yeah, I didn't say he's not.
Smart people. You just said he's very dumb.
But he's pretty dumb to come out with that bullshit.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I see what you're saying, and it is a little bit. It depends which way you look at it. I mean, the way I looked at it was sort of the way that I was talking about a little while ago, which we're all getting carried away about something which it will kill a small percentage of the globe, but there's already stuff going around. There's already other illnesses, diseases that kill millions more, such as malaria, which we just think is okay. And it's dumb. It is dumb in a way. It is dumb in a way to not fix the other problems that are maybe more prominent in the third world countries and, allow children to starve and die of not having clean water. But then, this coronavirus bug comes in, which is all right for the, screws up the first world or whatever. And then all of a sudden, everyone's getting all panicked and fear-mongering, and I think he's right in one regard. Okay, you can't say it's dumb because people are dying. It's definitely, I know what you're saying, Hen. I'm not going to totally disagree with you, but at the same time, I just think in a way what he means is there's bigger fish to fry, and if everybody just actually did what they're supposed to and contained and self-contained and did take a little month off work or whatever and do all that, which I know is not easy for a lot of people, and there's so many ramifications, and he's a bloody billionaire, he don't have to worry about that, really.
But that's not what he's saying.
Well, that's what I'm reading into it. I'm just saying I feel the same.
Why doesn't...
To a degree.
Why doesn't he just tweet out, we can all beat this if we all just kind of stay in, listen to the authorities, and just be very careful over the foreseeable future. Yeah, at the moment, it's not a big deal if everybody listens and does what they need to do. I wouldn't have a problem with him tweeting that. The fact that he tweets out saying that the panic about the coronavirus is dumb is basically suggesting to people out there that we don't need to panic about it. It just beggars belief. It beggars belief. We've been talking today that Premier League games are being cancelled because of fear of the coronavirus. Oh, so what? You sided with Elon now, saying, yeah, I mean, let's just continue with European football. Let's just forget about the statistics of people getting infected left, right, and centre, and people dying left, right, and centre, and let's just all agree that the coronavirus and the fear of it is dumb. He's the dumb one. He is my melter of the moment.
It depends which way you look at it. You could make the argument that, the world panicking and people going into stores and buying up toilet paper and all this stuff, that's dumb behaviour, mate. You could argue that's dumb behaviour because we don't know the potential of this yet. It could fizzle out as quickly as it's come in.
I don't think that's happening.
I hope not. I hope
people are doing that because people themselves are, it's a bit of a silly human reactional response, scared or worried. Okay, but I think the vast majority of human beings, when they actually get their senses together, like me and you, Pig, and most of our listeners, hopefully, it just comes down to being aware and being careful. And I don't think any one of us would have tweeted what Elon Musk did in a position, in an influential position of what he is.
Right.
Melter of.
I see what you're saying. It's
when he's losing lots of money himself. I think he's just very frustrated because he's not doing great.
Yeah.
Disgusting behaviour from a billionaire.
He's not doing great. He's loving it, mate. What are you talking about?
He's not loving it. He's
loving it, yeah, but so's everybody. Yeah, he's all right though. Do you know what I mean? He's all right. He's a freak. He's worth God knows how much. Doesn't matter if all his companies go under.
He doesn't enjoy it. Doesn't matter how much money you got. No one likes losing money.
Elon Musk's a very smart man. He'll just, even if Tesla did go under, there'd be another thing that he got involved with. There'd be another thing, SpaceX and PayPal he created and sold. That's where he got his original billions from. So, he's an innovator, mate. I think, he's got his bad fault points, obviously, like you said. I think that, you've turned me around a little bit. Like I turned you around on Mourinho a little bit. You turned me around a little bit because he does have a big influence. People should be taking it seriously. And if you just look at his statement on the face of it, what does that imply? You should just carry on as normal, because I don't think you should. So I agree with what you're saying, Hen. Fair enough. I'll let you have that melter there. But I do like Elon Musk anyway.
He is a modern day Iron Man. That's the problem. The youth look up to him as some kind of Tony Stark. That's what concerns me.
Fair enough. We've got a PayPal here from Gungshi. He says, Pig, this is a donation.
Thanks, Elon, by the way, for PayPal.
Yeah, Gunga says, this is a donation toward a Sailor Moon outfit for you to wear as a forfeit if United lose to Spurs. What is a Sailor Moon outfit? Do you know?
So if United lose to Spurs, is that what he said?
I need to wear a Sailor Moon outfit.
Yes. Well, no, Sailor Moon is some kind of Japanese anime.
Oh, is it? Right.
It's basically like Pokemon, but more niche.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
If you're into that kind of thing. So basically, he wants you to wear some kind of like Japanese, cosplay kind of stuff.
Okay.
It's a bit Gunchy. Settle down, Gunchy, mate. Nobody wants to know your sexual fantasies right now.
Hang on.
That's all I'm saying.
Are we talking about this sort of thing here?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it looks a lot better on her than it's going to look on me, don't you? But fair play, mate.
I don't know. Who knows what Gunchy's into?
Yeah, true.
You need to get the hat off first, at least. I mean, let's start with.
But that's
somewhere.
Definitely not going to happen anyway, just so you know, lads. And I'm happy to do a forfeit, but nobody wants to see the Pig in that. Honestly. Least of all the Pig. Of all the Pig. But one day, maybe we'll do some sort of forfeit where, we have to wear opposition shirts or something like that. Like Henry literally has to wear a United shirt for a week. Anyway, it's still my melter at the moment. I'm going to give myself the music one more time because it's been too long since the last one. So here we go. Oh, didn't play. It's shit the bed. Anyway, don't worry. It's fine. It's the Melter of the Moment still. I've already played it once. So, come on, my son. I'm just going to say the Melter of the Moment for me right now, it's got to be Portuguese Mr. Pinio, Jose Mourinho. Come on. Let me just speak, Henry. Then you can have your say. I'm sorry to go on about it again, but he's got to be the Melter of the Moment. Forget the Melter of the Moment. How about the Melter of his career? How about the Melter of his whole entire career, mate? Because he's gone 6 games, 4 defeats, 2 draws. He's gone 6 straight matches without a win for the first time ever in his career. Melter of the career, mate. Never mind Melter of the Moment. Dumped out the UCL, 4-0 on aggregate by RB Leipzig. Yeah? 8th currently in the Premier League after drawing at the weekend to Burnley. Throwing their players under the bus. Ndombele publicly outing him. Defensive negative shit style. Oh my days. Jose Mourinho is the Melter of the Moment.
Are you going to wear that Sailor Moon outfit if you lose at the Tottenham Hotspur
Absolutely
Stadium?
not.
Because
don't change the topic.
Well,
what are you going to wear? Okay, I'll do that, Henry. I'll do that if you agree to wear a Officer Jenny outfit from Pokemon. Sound good? If United beat Spurs, sound good? Sound good? Sound good?
Gunchy, mate. I think what's happening is you're going to have to send out these outfits. You know what I mean? Just so that we can consider whether we wear them or not.
There you go. You were so keen to see me wearing this thing, aren't you?
Yeah, just keep the hat on and just wear the outfit. That's it.
But anyway, you've got nothing to say about that.
What can I say? I mean, I can't disagree with what you said, but it just comes down to the fact that we are missing our key players right now. It's as simple as that. I mean, Jose did very well when he came into Spurs. We've lost key players. We've basically gone back into melt job mode, and we were in melt job mode from the beginning of the season. You know, Spurs have just not been in a good place this year. It's as simple as that. A lot of people would say that we've been overachieving for the last half decade or so to a certain extent, which, you know, I wouldn't 100% agree with, but at the same time, I cannot categorically disagree with that either. So for me, you know, for you to say Melter of the Moment, yeah, I guess so. Melter of the Moment. But is it all Jose's fault? That's the question you need to ask yourself.
Fair enough. Interesting. So that's our Melter of the Moment. Let us know if you agree, disagree. Who else do you think would be a potential candidate this week for Melter of the Moment? Always nice to know. And also Nutbag of Note is next. Let's get on with it then. I'm pretty sure my nutbag has shat the bed though. For some reason, the file was eating itself. So we're going to have to do the old nutbag of note, 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 nutbag of note. Because the music shit the bed. So there you go. I had to do the rendition myself. But nutbag of note, over to you, Henry Hotspur. Who is your nutbag of note?
My nutbag of note is you, mate, because you just done that off the cuff. You know what I mean? You know, forget about, you know, technical problems or blaming your tools. You know, you just come out with it there live. Really appreciated that. I think everybody could appreciate that. You're my nutbag of note, mate. Well done.
Nice one, thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that, Hen.
No, to be honest, I didn't. I'll be honest with you. I didn't actually have a nutbag of note ready this week.
Oh, okay.
There's just no one that's really shone. There's no one that's shone to me. There's so much depressing stuff going on in the news, as we know, without mentioning the big C, and not the normal big C, the other big bloody C, right? That's how bad it's been recently. And yeah, to be honest, I was going to give my nutbag of note to our listeners, you know, especially to some of our big contributors, people that get involved with the show, that they're week in, week out. You know, Gunshi with your comments, you know, Alex Rincon, you know, especially Rincon coming on yesterday for our special. He's supposed to be working and giving his thoughts on our topic yesterday. Absolutely brilliant.
Great call from
Alex
Rincon
Rudd
yesterday,
for all the work that he does on Twitter, etc. You know, monitoring everything. You know, so much work behind the scenes that Alex Rudd puts in as well. Mark Sin, I think hopefully he's around today for a question.
Are you in
of
here,
Sin,
Mark
but
Sin?
phenomenal performance from Mark Sin over these last few Pig of the Hen shows, where he's coming in with these brilliant quizzes. Probably doesn't get enough recognition. Massive part of the Pig and the Hen setup at the moment.
The cinema,
and for everybody else, people like, I don't know, like JP or
Ryan Burberspin.
Who else am I thinking of?
Arthur Others.
Ryan Burberspin.
ENT.
There's people. I forgot your name, but there's people that comment sometimes. When I'm able to get on YouTube and read the comments.
Jarvis Cocker,
brilliant comments.
Chris Welsing,
Jarvis
Cocker, Soze, RB Comps, Devil of a Red,
Stephen Zevon, Stephen Zevon. That just always got things to say when it comes to the close encounters of the third kind, and just the controversial stuff, or the things of conspiritual, is that a word, nature, that we speak about, always coming out with his own things. There's so many legends on the channel. So yeah, don't mean to get my tongue right up your arseholes, but yeah, my nut bags of note. Some of you guys out there that I've mentioned, plus the rest of you legends I haven't.
The Bacon and Egg Brigade. You can tell it's been a shite couple of weeks for Spurs, can't you? When he's saying that the Bacon and Egg Brigade and the nutbags are no. I appreciate your sentiment, Hen, but yeah. Nice one, mate. No, he's...
Yeah, well, it's not you anymore, Pig. I don't know why I thought it was you. Yeah, your rendition was shit, mate.
Anyway, he's right, though. You are a bunch of bloody legends, honestly. Raf22 as well, shout out. Marky Sin, have we got a cheeky little question of Sin today, mate? Are we on for it, son? The Saint as well.
Is
the
he
Saint.
on? Is
you
he
forgot
listening?
about the Saint, Hen, the Sheffield United fan.
The Saint is a saint. The word, the name says it all, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? Don't even need to mention it.
No, honestly, everybody that does tune in, there's still over 100 of you legends tuning in, so we appreciate that for it's not random, but the time on the Wednesday that it is. We know a lot of people are working or doing whatever at the moment, so that's brilliant that there's so many of you legends in here. Please do support the show by keep getting in here and smacking likes on it and sharing it and all that good stuff. It does definitely help us out, you legiondes. Right, okay, so my nutbag of note, we'll make it quick and snappy. It's going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because I just think recently he has turned United's fortunes around quite a lot. We've had
so
boring, but 10
boring.
games unbeaten, 8 clean sheets, Bruno coming in there. I've said it all in this video before.
Yeah. 10 games unbeaten, is it? Is it
10 games unbeaten, 8 clean sheets.
You've lost a game sooner than that.
No, that's in all competitions. So, we've been doing a good job. Defensively sound, I think is what you'd say. 8 clean sheets out of that 10, including some big games as well, like the likes of City and stuff like that. So I think we've done tremendously well under Solskjaer recently. And I think the style has improved recently since you've seen Bruno coming in. So that is why I'm going to say that. No worries, Marky Sin. He says he needs 5 minutes. Thank you so much, pal. That's brilliant news that we're going to have a question to send shortly. We've got to get on with Henry's... the close encounters of the third kind anyway, which hopefully stick around though for the football quiz. Do not go. If you want more football content and you're going to do one as soon as Hen starts talking about some random conspiracy shit, whatever it is, make sure you stick around. It's only going to be for 5 minutes. So we'll do the question of sin after that for sure. But anyway, it's time now for Henry Hotspur's close encounters of the third kind. Over to you, Henry.
Did we get the music?
We did.
Is it working again?
It's working, yeah. That one was working.
Fantastic. So, my close encounter it's got to be coronavirus related. Of course it has, because
let's keep it snappy on this one though.
Can it? What else can it be? And bottom line, Rincon touched on it yesterday, the fact that there hasn't been enough testing going on in the United States of America. Official figures right now are 1,000 plus in the United States. We're talking about the number one economy in the world. Forget about China for 1 second. The United States is supposed to be the pioneers of the world, the number one country in terms of their economy, in terms of everything, they are the big boys, okay?
Hen, I'm going to go for a piss, mate. It's actually me that's going for a piss. Usually my big bladder manages to hold out for the whole Pig then, but you carry on talking about this. I'm going to listen while I'm taking a piss, and then I'll be back in a minute. So you just carry on. Sorry, mate, to interrupt, but yeah, I need a piss. Back in a sec.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. So, you know, what I'm trying to say on this one, I mean, rather than actually pointing fingers at anyone in particular, things just don't add up for me whatsoever. I mean, we're looking at a 2020 presidential election. I believe it's November when Trump wants to get re-elected. Do you know what? Before this coronavirus hit, I thought Trump was nailed on to get re-elected as the president of the United States, you know, which is obviously massively important for American people, but important for the whole world. It affects the world who is the president of the United States. I'll be honest with you, I'm absolutely shocked and surprised at the administration, the Republican Trump administration towards the coronavirus. End of the day, you've seen what's happened with the response in China, in South Korea to a certain extent, you know, with the way that they're testing people left, right, and center. You've got people that are going through drive-throughs to get tested for coronavirus. You've seen how this is spreaded through Italy now. You know, this is well documented. It's horrible news. Bottom line, what is going on in the United States of America? We have to question ourselves. Does this come down to the fact that Trump is so elected that he's actually putting American lives to one side? Could he be hoping that he can hold out and get through the elections so that he gets re-elected and then worry about the coronavirus later? I mean, what is going on here? Because, you know, there's been martial law, I believe, has been put into effect or been begun to be put into effect in New York. And I'm telling you right now, I think Trump has lost his mind. I don't know if he's got advisors. Maybe he's got people that are advising him that are completely the wrong people right now. Because I'm telling you right now, my encounter of the third kind is I anticipate Trump won't even last to the elections, to the presidential run-in this year, because I think he'll be denounced. I think he'll lose his job because I think the coronavirus will get that bad in the United States of America, and you know, someone will have to fall on their sword. And for Trump to come out with that tweet, and he almost made my melter of the moment with his tweet saying that, you know, this many people have died from the flu, blah 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 blah. You know, why, you know, we don't quarantine, we don't do this for a coronavirus. I mean, he will eat those words absolutely if the American economy crumbles, and if you know, the coronavirus sweeps through America, which I don't see how it won't. With this kind of response where you can travel state to state, you know, it's over 1,000 cases now. This is the United States of America, and the people have basically, don't worry, everything's fine. Just go on with your day-to-day lives, business as usual. Yeah, I mean, I could see Trump not even making it to the elections this year. I think it's the end of Trump. I'm telling you right now, he's made a massive mistake, and I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me. I've never been a Trump basher as much as I am right now.
You think it'd be a good opportunity, a good time to say, you know, let's get behind this thing and rally as a nation. That's what they do at times. That's often why sometimes wars play a big part in elections and things like that.
I don't understand why he hasn't done that line.
Yeah, I know. I don't get that
no
either.
Sense to
Why
me.
spend money on a wall, on a border wall, when you could be spending it on testing people and preventing the spread of coronavirus in the United States?
Absolutely. Such a good point, Pig. It's like, you know, he's always so up for talking about immigration and make American lives, make America great again, etc., etc. End of the day, you know, when you've got like some kind of infectious disease that we're not even too sure about, that is sweeping through the entire world, is making the headlines, it's like, you know, actually, let's just forget about building a wall. Let's actually, you know, transfer that kind of philosophy onto building a wall again, you know, and he hasn't jumped on that whatsoever. He's an absolute idiot.
Fair play, mate, and that's quite interesting coming from you, because you have always been pretty pro-Trump and quite, admired what he's done in some ways. But yeah, fair play. I've got nothing much more to add on that one. We have got Mark Sin ready, so unless there's anything else you want to discuss in terms of the nutbag of note there, Hen, Sorry, not the nutbag note. The close encounter.
It's not the nutbag.
Yeah, not the
no.
nutbag. Then
you're a Trump fan, aren't you? You love that Trump.
Then please do
No.
just cap it off, mate's what I'm saying. Let's put a sock in it. Unless you've got anything else to add.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready for my question. A question of sin. I mean, do we not have the theme tune sorted for this? We need to.
We don't have the theme tune at all, mate.
We need a question of.
Hey, here
music.
he is. Can you see? I can see
we've
you, mate. I
actually
can see
got
Mr.
Sin's
Sin.
face.
We can actually see
the
Mr.
face
Sin.
of Sin.
Mr. Sin, do you want to be on the show or just your voice?
I'm not quite ready.
Oh, he's still doing his hair and his makeup, is he?
Well, I'm like just in bed, so probably best
Oh,
not.
fair play. We'll just keep your voice on there then, mate.
Send that costume, that that anime costume or whatever. Send it out to Mark Sin. He's well up for it.
Well, I think it would look better on either of you two than me, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? There'd be a certain element of bulging going on if I was to wear that, mate, and I don't think it would look good. It's not a good look for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you, Mark? It's been a little while. Hope you're keeping well, mate.
Yeah,
Thank you
not
very much for
bad.
getting in here.
I'll just make myself white there. There we go. Not bad, mate.
So, I'm not going to put you on there anyway. Don't worry about that.
So you guys can see me, is it? And the viewers can't.
Yeah, just us, yeah.
Oh, yeah. How are you guys anyway?
Oh,
Yeah,
so
not
no
too
one
bad,
can
mate.
see Mark? Is it just me and you that can see Mark for that?
I can
that
put him on
second?
there, but he's
you
he
said he
said
wasn't
that he's not
live.
ready for that. So don't worry about that.
So what about
stop
when
making him do
Alex
that, mate, yeah?
Rincon? When Alex Rincon was on yesterday, could people see him or not?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
They could, okay. But Mark Sin is just for me and Mark. You might as well get your dick out, mate, for me and me.
That's for the after hours show. After hours.
Crikey. Hey, I tell you what though, we don't actually have the questions. While I find the music, because I just realised Adam Mayer didn't set it up before the stream. But while I do that, why don't you let us know how you're doing, Mark, and also your thoughts on Arsenal at the moment and all that. We love to know. The viewers love to know.
Well, my thoughts. Actually, we always have a little football chat before, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. My thoughts at the moment. Arsenal. I mean, next season I expect a bit more. This season, kind of given up now. Nothing to play for. I don't think Arsenal will get fourth or fifth at the moment. It'd be a struggle.
I'm sceptical.
Because only because the runs of the other teams if you have, especially within United, they've got quite a nice run now. They've played City already. I don't think we deserve fourth anyway. So next season, I do expect it to sort of progress a bit more. Hopefully, we'll try and challenge for the top four. That's my sort of ambitions for next season for Arsenal. I don't know what you guys. I mean, you guys have your respective teams. What your expectations are for next season?
Yeah, I think that's fair because again, it's like it's a similar sort of situation that United were in last year and that Spurs are in this year. Arteta is having a sort of mop up at the moment, and he's not had a lot of time. He's not had a lot of time to sort of influence the side and also build the side with players that he actually wants and make some changes and things like that. So yeah, I think next season will be better. I've actually been reasonably impressed with sort of Arteta in his first stint in management. He's shown some good, motivation of the team and tactics at times. And not so much at other times, but that's football management. He's pretty green when it comes to it. He's new to it, so we'll see what he does. But I think Arsenal will probably be in challenging top 6 next season. I truly believe that. So yeah, fair play. What do you think, Hen?
For me, I think it's in some ways it's a good time to be an Arsenal fan. I think season upon season you've seen a team of great historical. Clout, should we say, in the early 2000s, in the latter years of the Wenger years, it just wasn't really happening anymore. Wenger out, we all know what that was about. And then we saw Wenger go. You got in Unai Emery, didn't work out at all, and suddenly nobody's. The thing with Arsenal is suddenly no one's talking about them. It's not like Tottenham Hotspur where everybody is making big headlines. Jose's not doing well, big players out. Blah blah blah. Manchester United is still making the headlines. Nobody's talking about Arsenal anymore, which is, I can imagine it's devastating if you're a massive fan of the club. And bottom line, Arsenal, have had a fantastic history at times. But for once, I think now you've passed that Arsene Wenger era completely. You've got someone that was a great player for Arsenal when he was there. Even better player for Everton, in my opinion. In Arteta, obviously he's learnt from Pep Guardiola. I think he's come in at Arsenal. He's done an okay job. And to be fair, as an Arsenal fan, I'd be excited. I'd be excited for next season because the pressure's off. No one's expecting anything. As I said, no one's talking about you guys. And it's all to play for. You've got some great players there. Aubameyang, Lacazette. Tottenham Hotspur would bend over right now for those players, to be able to play up front for us. So, we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I still think, it's going to be interesting to see who finishes above who in terms of Spurs and Arsenal. Mind the gap and all that. What I would say is seriously mind the gap between both your teams and the top of the league, because crikey, both mid-table fodder at the moment.
Oh, shut up, pig.
All right, sorry. Anyway, should we progress with the quiz then, Mark?
Keep it,
pleasantries out the way.
Yeah.
Mark's got his blanket on his head again. I mean, I saw your beautiful face for a few moments there, Mark, and now I'm seeing cum stained sheet. Oh, he's back, is he?
That's just a pig. No, I'm loving his new content. Just very quickly, do love the FIFA stuff that he's doing and the other watch alongs.
Nice one, Mark. Thank you, mate. Yeah,
got flying up the channel, just grown really quickly.
Yeah, I mean we've gone up about 350 people in the last 28 days, which if we keep going like that, that's going to be great. We should hopefully hit our goal of. We'll probably get near 30,000 by the end of the year with that rate. So I'm loving it. It's a great community anyway. If it stayed just as it is, I'd honestly be happy. I think it's just a fun thing for us to do, and trying to do more stuff, the FIFA vids and that. Obviously, it's not for everybody, but I'm glad that you enjoy it, Mark, and some people do. So I'll keep doing them. We're doing the watch along later as well for the Champions League ties, unless they're called off, which obviously they're not going to be, but. Unless there's some last-minute corona outbreak or something, those games should be on. So I will be doing a watch-along tonight for the Champions League fixtures too. So, appreciate that, Mark. Bloody legend.
You see Henry, you see how I set him up to let him plug his own show? See?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, as a quiz master does.
He didn't plug it, though.
Let's plod on the show. Obviously,
great stuff. Let's get on with the theme tune then. Yeah. I'm going to have to do it this way this week. Let's go.
Yes, mate, absolutely brilliant.
Question of sin.
How do we not get a copyright strike for that?
Yeah, we may well do. It's just one of those things. Like, I like to take the risk.
Right. As we've had a bit of a break from this, I think it was 4-1 last time we left it. 4-1 to Mr. Pig. So we definitely need you to pull your socks up today, Henry. As a neutral, just to make it interesting.
I'm going to turn away from the computer then, so I can't see the live chat or anything.
Asking questions, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Don't need opinions. You're not human. You're just a robot.
I did some good research this week. So, first round.
Henry's going to get trashed, by the way.
I don't know. might not. I think he did well this round.
Okay, let's see.
First round has 3 categories. To win the round, you need 2 out of 3 of the categories. Does that make sense? Okay. So first round, we have the bidding round again. Okay. So absorb the question. So you guys have to name teams ending in United as the first category. So have a little think first. So have a little think. Let's have a first bid, Pig. How many teams in the English League ending in United?
8.
8. Any advances on 8, Henry?
Nah, let Pig go for it. I've had too
Oh,
many beers,
shit.
mate.
All right then, Pig. Your target is 8. Any incorrect deems the point to Mr. Henry.
Any correct is a point to Hen. Any
Incorrect.
incorrect, sorry.
Yeah, in the 8, you mean.
Right, okay. Manchester United.
Yeah,
Newcastle United.
yeah,
Carlisle United.
yeah.
Fucking hell. Oh shit. They should be coming to me here, shouldn't they? Let's just take a moment.
Can I
Let's just calm
steal?
down
Can
here.
I go for a steal?
No, I'll give him a little bit of time, but obviously don't take the piss, Pig.
No, I shouldn't be stuck already. That's for sure. Like I'm having a mare already. Fucking hell.
I'm going to deem this point for Henry because that's too long.
Yeah, so
I think I've had an absolute mare there. Yeah, there's so many as well, but I just
United,
can't.
Mate, Sheffield United.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
Leeds United,
Leeds United.
Leeds United. I was going to say that.
Oxford United,
Oxford United.
Oxford
That's
United.
it.
Another one
West
just bang
Ham
on my
United.
mind.
Oh, West Ham
West
United.
Ham United, of course.
Chesterfield. No, there's loads. There's Chesterfield, Colchester
Fucking hell.
United,
I've had an
Carlisle,
absolute mare.
There we go. I
Rotherham.
knew he was going to buckle it. I knew
Peterborough.
it. I knew
Just
he was
on the
gonna have a
spot though,
mare.
yeah, you made the right choice there, Henry. No advance on 8. You made the right choice.
8 is a lot, man.
Days.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah,
there
but I
was-
should have done better than Man United, Newcastle United. And why did I get Carlisle United and not West Ham United or
Or
Leeds
Leeds
United or
United.
Sheffield
Or
United? What's the matter
Sheffield.
with me?
Yeah.
Oxford United.
The Saint is turning in his grave if he's if he was dead.
He's not even dead, yeah.
You had,
Fucking hell.
you had a freebie of Man United as well, so I don't know.
I know,
how.
mate. No, I hold my hands up to that one out there,
Right.
Bacon and Egg Brigade. That was piss poor from the Pig. I've melted there like Jose, honestly.
Okay, so round just a category point already. That's one. So the next category would be teams ending in city. Have a little think. And we can let you guys have a little think before I ask for the bids. Have a little think. So this time, Henry, you may bid first. Have a little think before.
Okay, I'll go for 5.
5 cities. Any advance on 5,
I'll
Pig?
go for 6.
Okay. Any advance on 6?
I'll go for 7.
Okay. I like that.
I'll let Henry have the 7.
Okay, he's calling your bluff, mate. Give me 7 cities, please.
Okay, Manchester City,
Yeah.
Birmingham City,
Yep.
Bristol City,
Yep.
Coventry City.
Yep.
Okay. It's tricky, isn't there? Isn't it?
Well,
When you're on the
It's
spot, it is tricky, yes.
That's 4. I'll give you a little bit of time, to be fair.
How many did I say? How many do I need here?
That's 4. You need 3 more.
I need 3 more.
Yeah, and no stalling me. I give you a little bit more time.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark. Nice
Hull
one, I like it.
City.
Yep. 5.
Cardiff City.
Yep. 6. One more. I'll give you 5 seconds. I'm giving you 5 more
I'm pretty
seconds.
much there. Come on, mate. I'm pretty much there, mate. I'm pretty much there. You know
One
it.
Time over.
Yeah.
Son,
time-
Scunthorpe.
That's United. They're Scunthorpe
No.
United.
That's another fucking
out.
United, isn't it? For fuck's
Oh,
sake.
you lose that. Okay.
Nice one. It's one apiece.
Hell.
One apiece. There was a few. The obvious one, Leicester. You didn't say Leicester City.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Norwich City.
Oh, of course, Norwich. Oh, it's such
Stoke.
I hate this. I hate
Yeah.
this. Stoke. I know. What is wrong with us, Pig?
I know. There's you pieing me off though, saying it's easy, but it's on the spot. It's actually not that easy.
You had Swansea City, Hull City.
a lot then,
bloody
yeah.
hell! I said
Coventry.
Hull.
Exeter. Lincoln.
Exeter, yeah.
Exeter. I was thinking Exeter for some reason. I just didn't think it was a city at the time.
You started off well. That's 1-1
Brilliant.
in 1-1 in categories.
Uh.
The final round. Okay, and Pig can go first. Have a little think. This will be FA Cup winners only. We're
Different teams who've won the FA Cup in the history of the entire competition.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and we're not excluding the before it turned to the FA Cup. Although it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, there was competition.
I'll go 11 straight off.
I'll let Pig go for it. 11. That's a big list. Do it.
Right. Okay. Portsmouth.
Yep.
Man United.
Yep.
Arsenal.
Yep.
Chelsea.
Yep.
Liverpool.
Yep.
Man City.
Yep.
Everton.
Yep.
Let's go for Aston Villa.
Yep.
How many's left?
You're on 8 at the moment.
Okay, so I need three more,
left.
right? Okay, 3 left. Sheffield United. Pretty sure they won it back in the day. Answer?
Not on my list. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay. Wrong.
Oh.
Not
So
on
does
my
that mean
list.
he's out, mate? Does it
He's
that mean
out.
he's out?
No.
If
Yeah.
I
Fair
say
enough.
Portsmouth are a FA Cup winner, aren't they?
Yeah.
that's the first answer I
2008.
said,
Just
yeah.
to consolidate my steal there. Happy
No.
days. Thank you, Mark Sin.
That was the first answer I gave, Henry. You obviously weren't listening, mate. I said
Sheffield
Portsmouth.
Oh, was it?
Sheffield United
Yeah.
didn't win it. Sheffield Wednesday won it.
Ah, shite.
Yeah, Wednesday. There we come on. 2-1.
All right, fair enough. Well, I almost got there.
Do one.
Down on
Do
another
one.
bloody
Take
United,
that
didn't
hat
I?
off. Take that hat off. That head is getting too hot.
You had to win one sooner or later, Hen, but, it's only the first round. Calm down.
Yeah, I'll go through some of the obvious ones that you could have had. Like you said, the big 5 won it. Obviously,
Yeah.
Portsmouth, Everton, Liverpool, Tottenham, which didn't say, Wimbledon, Coventry City, West Ham, Ipswich, Southampton, Sunderland, Leeds, West Brom, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, all that. It's quite a few. Extensive
Fair
list.
play. Well, I'm sure the Saint would have piped up if Sheffield United had won it in their history, so I'm going to take your word for it and say that I was definitely wrong.
No, it's definitely not there. Sheffield Wednesday won it. They haven't.
The Saint has said nothing, but he seems to have already played some kind of, integral role this evening. Has he not?
Yeah, I don't think he's even in the chat.
I don't know. No, but... Oh no, he is. There he is. He says, "What was the question?" I had said that at some point in the history of the FA Cup that Sheffield United had lifted the trophy. I'm obviously wrong there, but we're just getting a clarification there. But that's fine. I'm sure Mark Sin's done his due proper research here.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't on there.
He said Wednesday lifted it, not United. So maybe that's where I had a mare.
Yeah.
The Saint says
United. You're not
Saint
doing
says-
well with United, are you, this evening?
Why does the Saint say 4 times winners?
Well, Sheffield United won 4 times the FA Cup.
Let me
No,
have a
no
look.
way.
Let me have a look.
I don't
Maybe
know,
he's just
mate.
winding us. He's just winding us up. I don't know.
Hey,
But
he's
I-
winding you up, Pig. Come on, Pig. Just accept it. You got to respect the sin.
Pig's not having it. Pig's like, I'm
Pig is not having it.
Have Sheffield.
They won the FA
United.
Cup in 1899, 1902, 1915, and 1925. So I'm actually carrying on my question because I was right.
They
But
have
is that not before? Is that
or
not before?
I thought you said you were including it before
excluding
excluding. But what? Excluding it from when? From when?
from when it changed to the FA Cup because it was called something else before.
Absolutely.
It was called some milk cup or something. Some
Okay.
bloody.
Very much the case.
Okay,
Very
let's
much the
have a look.
case.
FA Cup Inception. I just want to make sure that this is in fact the correct thing. But right, okay. FA Cup finals, 1872. Right.
Because I think it changed from like the.
Yeah, I thought it was included as well. Yeah, I mean it's going to have to be a chalk off, I'm afraid. But there's a lot of contention. There's a lot of contention in the live chat here. Rudboy said he said including. I thought he said including at the start also.
Excluding.
Okay.
He said excluding. Come on, it's 2-1 to the Hen. Do you know what I mean? This is so sick and wrong. I don't even have Google.
Ronaldo Awino says I thought he said including. Danny said including. I thought you said including as well. That's why.
The thing is, I would not question the sin. You know what I mean?
I know. That's why you just
week on week. This is why you're winning 4-1. This is why you're winning 4-1 when it comes to these quizzes, because you always bully Mark Sin into.
That's why I always want the correct answer. I just want the correct answer to be correct. But you know what, Hen? Because
you can sack off Sin and get another quizmaster if you're not happy, Pig. Do you know how simple as that? Otherwise,
we're moving on.
Anyway, everybody says he said including, but look, do you know what? We do this every single week, and I'm just going to give Henry the point because I know what you're doing here, Mark. I know what you're doing. You've got to give him a leg up, son. I understand it. He is subpar. He's subpar at this quizzery, and it's 4-1 at the moment overall on weeks. Like if we don't let Henry have one. You know, it's just going to get stupid. He's going to get sick of killing him.
Let's move on.
Just give Henry the point, even though what I said was in fact correct. Even though yet again a grave injustice has been committed against the Pig here. Even though that's happened, that's fine.
Your football knowledge has not been put into question. Everything's okay. No need to try.
4-time winners, FA Cup, Sheffield United. Sorry, carry on.
Right, round 2. I'm going round 2 now. You guys. All right. This is the just normal questions. We're not going to have any buzzers because I know you guys wanted to eliminate that. So I'm going to go for this format for a change.
Okay.
So as the loser at the moment, Pig, I'm going to let you choose set questions 1 or 2.
That's right, loser.
Let's go for 2.
2. Okay, set 2 for you, Pig. Give me a second. There's five
of them.
There's 5 questions each. Okay, so just for you, Pig. So here are these
good
questions.
format. I like this. This is much better. Okay.
So
shouldn't we be doing one at a time though? So it's like penalty shootout, or just 5 for me, then 5 for him.
Complaining, Pig. Just shut your mouth and answer the questions. Is it that
you were the one that said you wanted penalty shootout last week, you bender. All right, come on then.
You got 5 each, yeah, but we'll do them a set at a time. So you're going to have to answer as much as you can out of these 5, okay?
Okay.
So which football stadium has the largest capacity in Europe?
The Nou Camp.
Correct. Who was the England manager at 2010 World Cup?
Fabio Capello.
Correct. Which animal is on Brighton and Hove Albion's badge?
Seagull.
Correct. What is the nationality of Rene Higuita, who famously did the
Colombia
kick? Colombian, but yeah, okay, that's fine. Finally, which English Premier League footballer is the highest scoring midfield player of all time?
All time, Bobby Charlton.
No, incorrect. Frank Lampard's correct answer.
Ah, fuck.
Lamps. So
4 out of 5 ain't bad. 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Okay. Henry.
Pretty good, to be fair, Pig. Pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
Bobby Charlton probably second on that list, just so you know. But anyway, carry on.
Shut up, Pig. Doesn't he? You try to, massage his ego, and then it explodes and contains.
It's over to you, Henry. You've got to put together a faultless run here, mate.
Bullshit.
You've got to be faultless here, mate.
That's all right. He could tie. If he ties,
yeah, he could tie. That's true.
He wins. Pretty much wins. So Henry, you ready, mate? You ready?
I have to be. We should have had it one question at a time, like Pig said. Because the pressure's on now.
No pressure, mate. Don't worry about it. Henry, which Premier League has the team has the smallest capacity at 11,000?
Bournemouth.
Correct. Mo Salah joined Liverpool from which Italian club?
Roma.
Correct.
Good one.
Yes. Good one. Which English manager has managed the most Premier League matches?
What? Sorry. So just so I get this right. So someone that's managed England and also managed the most Premier League matches as well.
No, which English manager has managed the most Premier League matches?
Harry Redknapp.
Correct. Okay, so 2 more questions. Yeah. Who scored the extra time winner for Man United in the 2015-16 FA Cup final? The
FA Cup final?
Yeah, the extra time winner for Man United.
Against who? Are you not going to say? Bloody hell, that's a tricky one, isn't it?
It's not in the question.
Rashford.
No, Lingard. Jesse Lingard.
Jesse Shingards. Bloody, what a stupid question.
Well, I'm sorry.
That was a great question. I knew the answer to that. Yeah, that's a good question. I could have got...
Of course you would have done, Pig. You know
but that's why we chose sets of questions.
Hang on a sec. There's a United question in this pack, but there's no Spurs question. You know what I mean? This is biased.
These are general football questions.
Yeah.
All right.
Go on.
Finally,
no problem. No issues at all with your questions there, Mark. It's just Henry clutching at straws here. He's got 1 to tie, and that's it. If he doesn't get this, he's melted.
Okay, last question. In which year was the original Three Lions released?
Oh, come on. That is difficult.
That is easy. Tricky. That's the easiest one ever.
Is it the original easy. Three Lions?
Mate, I know. I know. So you should know.
You mean the song? You mean the song?
Yeah.
You mean the song?
Yeah.
Oh, 1996.
Correct.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you not know that?
God. No, I thought he meant like the logo or something. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, right.
Bloody hell.
I was going to say, surely you remember that ahead when you were a kid.
Yeah, that's
4-4 Pig. 4-4 Pig.
That's
Fuck
it.
You.
So
Fuck
that's
you.
I think that's a point to you this week then.
Tiebreaker.
No, there's no tiebreaker, mate.
What? We don't have a tiebreaker. We got penalty shootout, but we got no bloody tiebreaker.
Well, the tiebreaker would have been guess the player, but you can have that for fun if you want.
Sure. Yeah, okay. but hang on, we've not. No, that's a flawed system. Because on one side of the questions we can get a 1-0, and on the other side of the questions we can get a tie. I don't like that. It's like the person who wins the first part of the quiz has got a major advantage there. You know what I mean?
No. I mean,
so what happens? Well, we get a point each. What's going on? It's 4-4, isn't it?
You win.
Yeah, but okay, that's fine. Henry needs some help. He does. He needed to get.
Sorry, I've won it for the whole thing tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, down to general cheating. You have done, yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy. Absolutely happy days. I deserved it, mate. I deserved it. I come out with some solid answers this evening.
Sheffield United 4-time FA Cup winners. That's fine. Including past winners of all time. That was said. That's fine, but
I faltered on Jesse Lingard's goal in an FA Cup final against God knows who because I could not give a fuck, and I still win.
Who were they playing, Pig? Who did they play that? Who did they play?
Say again?
Do you know who they played in the final?
Oh,
yeah, FA Cup.
Fucking hell.
Some shit team, was it?
I can't remember. No idea.
I knew it was 2-2, and then it went to extra time, and he scored, didn't he? I can't remember who. I'm in the chat, but
I can't remember now.
Everton.
Somebody will tell us. Hull. Yeah, Rod Boy says Hull.
Yeah,
That's it. Fair enough, but there is a point of contention, lads and lasses. Fair enough.
Oh,
we'll
shut
see.
up, Pig! Shut up.
All right, that's fine. We'll let you have it, mate.
That
makes it 4-2 overall. Yeah, 4-2 overall. There's nothing worth bragging about. You're 4-2 down, son.
Absolutely made my week.
Let me get last bit in. Even if he got Sheffield, he was struggling to get 11.
Oh no, I'd have got the rest of it. No worries.
No,
There's loads of teams for
you
the
said
FA Cup.
you
I just got to 8. No worries. I only needed 3 more.
He was all over the place. I mean, me. I said 7 cities, and I come up with 6, and then I had a mind blank. I mean, that is a genuine thing.
I didn't have a mind blank. I said a legitimate FA Cup winner, and then I was told that it wasn't. So I didn't have a mind blank. That's different. I'd have carried on saying them. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's fine. I accept it. We need to, as a question of sin, basically, a question of helping Hen out so he doesn't lose every week. So that's fine.
To be honest, I think that's the first question of proper question 6. We actually had the proper music tonight. So I mean, I think before tonight that was just like practice rounds. I mean, officially it's 1-0 to me. Simple as that.
Nice one. No, Henry did very well, to be fair. You know, let's give him some props there. He actually did surprise me with some of his questions. I didn't expect him to get that Roma question at all. You know, the Salah question. I didn't think he'd get that at all. So you done well, Hen. You pulled it out of the bag.
Who do you think I am? Who do you think I am? You know, I'm not just the hen for just because I'm your mate. It's not like I'm just some kind of tag along. It's like, you know, you've got this channel and you love doing your videos and stuff. It's like, do you know what? I feel it's sort of like a mate. Do you know what I mean? I feel a bit sorry for him. I just have him tag along and do some videos with me. Come on, mate. Give me some kind of self-respect there. Do you know what I mean?
I just said respect. You done well. I said you done well with what you do. Fair play, Joe. Okay, you surprised me. I'm sorry.
He said it with
my
that
natural reaction.
sarcasm. That's what it is.
Dude, I know.
So anyway,
I know.
just for a little bit of you know, just to put the icing on the cake for Hen, or to maybe claw back a consolation for me, then should we do this guess the person if you've got one?
Yeah, I have.
Brilliant.
All right, go on. You start first, Pig. It's usual format.
Okay, brilliant. Do they play, or sorry, have they played in the Premier League?
Yes.
Have they played for Manchester United?
No. There we go. No.
Are they playing at the moment?
No.
Did they play in the 90s?
Yes.
Did they play for Arsenal?
No.
Are they black? I
No.
can't help it. I always say black.
No. No. They're not.
Okay. Have they ever won the Premier League?
No.
Are they a defender?
No.
Are they a midfielder?
Yes.
Are they English?
No.
Do they have long hair?
I can't remember, but I think no, they didn't.
Okay.
At some point, he might have, to be fair, but as far as I wouldn't, no.
Were they European?
Yes.
Okay. Were they? Were they?
You should say was he. It's going to be a he in it. Let's be honest. It's a Premier League player. Come on.
Don't want to offend anyone, Henry. You know, it's 2020, mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, so was this person, whatever they may identify as, did they play for? Did they play for? Sorry, are they British? British.
No, you asked. No.
No, I said English.
Right.
Are they British?
No.
Ah.
Okay, so where are we? So it's an Arsenal player that's not black. I think he identifies as a he, and he played in the 90s in midfield.
No,
for
they're not
Arsenal.
Arsenal. No.
It wasn't Arsenal.
We haven't got the club
Arsenal.
yet.
Okay, let's come up with a question. So, wait, they haven't won the Premier League. Okay, was it a defensive midfielder? Was he a defensive midfielder?
No.
Okay. Has he played for Liverpool?
No.
Did he have the best years of his career in the 2000s rather than the 90s?
No.
Did he play for a team that is in the south part of the country?
Oh. It's a tough
So
one.
that's London.
Yeah, London down, I'd say.
Below.
Birmingham or below, I'd say, yeah.
Yes. With
Okay,
a caveat.
I thought that might help me out. I don't
With
know.
a caveat.
Right, okay. Is he known as being a goal-scoring midfielder?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd say so,
And
yeah.
did he ever play for Southampton?
No.
No, I've had a mare. Right, okay. Over to you, Hen.
Did he play for a London club?
Yes.
Did he play for Chelsea?
No.
Okay, did he play for Tottenham?
Yes.
Right. Goal scoring midfielder. Not British. Okay, did he play for another Premier League team as well as Tottenham?
Yes.
Yes.
I think the chat's probably already got it now.
Yeah, I'm not going to look. Crikey, let's have a think. 90s.
I should know, but the thing is, I I didn't really follow Tottenham back in the day. You know, this is the problem for me. So
Are they European?
and it's
Yes.
I said that, didn't I? Yeah. Yep. So the European goal scoring midfielder for Tottenham during the 90s. Are they a winger?
Yes.
Is it David Ginola?
Yes.
Come on! Get in there, my son!
bloody hell.
Come on! I was
What do you
thinking
mean
of
long-
centre mid.
Wait a sec. Sorry. I asked the question earlier. Did they have long hair? I'm pretty sure you said no. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's any other player. Sorry.
It's a stupid question, though, Hen.
Right, wait a second.
I
Wait a
can't-
It
second.
changes.
I don't think. Wait, sorry. Can I just speak for 1 second? I don't think there's any player in the entire history of Premier League, let alone English football, that is more famous for his long hair than David Ginola.
Hold
You
on.
know, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. He did bloody L'Oreal adverts with his long hair.
When he was playing, though, did he have long
He
hair?
doesn't have short hair now, did he?
Yes, he had long hair when he was playing.
He's got short hair now.
Absolutely, was famous for the long hair. Absolutely
Give
threw
me a
me off. I'm
second.
not having it, Mark.
No, give me a
I'm not
second.
having it,
No,
Mark.
give me a second.
Sacked,
Give me a
mate.
second.
Sacked as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was like a mullet sort of style. I wouldn't say it was like long. It was like. Do you mean
Not
it's
happy with
It
that.
serves you
I
right,
am
Henry,
not
for asking
happy
such
with
silly
that.
questions.
Mullet.
Like, hair changes dramatically throughout the career. Like, how could you answer that about David Beckham, say?
Exactly. Yeah.
know
No,
what
but
I mean?
Ginola was a classic for the long hair. If there ever
I mean, he was.
one.
To be fair, if anybody was known during their playing career for having a long flowing lock,
Especially
it
in the
was David.
90s.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And-
I'm starting to understand where you're coming from,
but-
Pig. Questioning the sin.
No,
Questioning
but
the
if you
sin.
look
It's
at-
not a question of sin.
hold
it's
on.
questioning
Yeah,
the
but
sin.
hold on. If you look at some of his pictures, he has short hair as well when he was playing for Man.
Yes, I think he probably did as well,
for
yeah.
Newcastle United.
Yeah.
He had short hair as well, so it was like.
All I'm going to say is I always
And-
ask this question about the hair. Next time, Sin, you need to do a bit more
The
hair
hair
research.
Yeah, but you can look at it, right? Some of the pictures, he has short hair in some of them. Look at the,
You know he's gonna ask you that question
bloody
every
hell.
single week, Mark.
when
so,
he went
yeah,
to, when he went to Spurs, right? He's got long hair, but if you look when he was playing for Newcastle United, he had short hair. So like,
yeah.
it's like
I'm with you, Mark. It's a dumb question. I mean, you have to
Dumb
just
question,
answer yes
yeah.
or no.
Yeah, Elon Musk's thumb. Yeah, well done. mate.
and just to round up, you won this week anyway. So
Oh, Mark,
I
you're a
did
bloody
win.
hero.
I did win. Thank you.
Yeah,
I won.
fair play. It's
The
a great-
important thing is
great
I won.
quiz.
Who cares?
Great show.
There
It's
you
a
go.
little bit of contention, but that's fine. You know,
I'm gonna go back and do the research on Sheffield just for my own sake.
Thank you.
anyway.
And maybe you did say included. Maybe you
No,
said
I
excluded.
definitely
Maybe it's
said
me that's
excluded.
wrong.
He said excluded. He said excluded.
Okay,
Excluding-
that's fine. Well, maybe
He
maybe
made a
me.
mistake with the Ginola. He made a mistake with the Ginola
Yeah.
of the hair. But when it came to Sheffield United, he was spot on when he said excluded.
Well, maybe
Spot
me
on,
and
I'm
every
telling
single
you
other
right
mug
now.
in the chat is wrong there. But
It's-
either
it's-
way, I love your effort, Mark. That was a great
What
quiz.
we
Thank
need,
you
do you
very
know
much.
what we need? What we need is a fourth official. We need like VAR on this.
Yeah, we do.
shit,
We
don't
do.
we?
Big time. Anyway, legend. Yeah, thank you so much for the quiz there, Mark. That was brilliant.
worries, mate.
Are we on for next week? I've got to
Yeah,
redeem
definitely,
myself.
mate. Definitely,
Lovely.
mate. I'll let you guys wrap the show up.
4-2, yeah,
Waffle.
4-2.
Thank you, Mark.
4-2.
Yeah, 4-2
I
overall.
can take that.
Great
I'll take
quiz.
that.
Henry's done
Make
me
it a
this week
comeback.
then.
Happy days.
Right,
Thank
guys.
you,
All
Mark.
right,
Love
everybody,
you, Mark.
please in the live chat, give your thanks to Mark Sin for giving his time and effort for doing the quiz. Shout out to Mark Sin, the Cineman on Twitter. Follow him, Cineman on Twitter, and please do follow him and give him some props for doing this show. Massive respect, Mark Sin. Thanks so much, mate. Have a great day. We'll catch up with you soon.
See you later, mate. Bye.
Legend. Cheers,
Catch
Mark.
you later, my friend.
Thanks, mate. Awesome stuff. Awesome show then, Hen. Yeah, I think that's about time for us to wrap this one up, to be fair, mate, because we've been going for 2 hours, 21 minutes, so I've got to crack
You
on.
need to go and cry because you lost the question of sin. I get that. I understand. You're holding back the tears right now. Have
Yeah.
some of that.
Fair play, Henry. Little victories and all that. Hopefully United will be smashing you up at the weekend, though, taking that little smile off your face. But no, fair play, mate. Sheffield United only won the FA Cup 4 times, but that's fine, Henry. Any which way you can get it. That's what I say.
Well, I am looking, to be honest, I am looking forward to this live watch along. Make sure that you're staying tuned. It's going to be special. We're going to be going on before the actual game starts, just for a little bit of a pre-match excitement and exchange with between us two, and obviously with you guys. And yeah, it's going to be special. It's a shame that we're missing our best players at the moment, because even I've predicted a loss for Tottenham Hotspur, but pressure's off. So let's see what happens. We're at home. There we go.
Legend, yeah. We'll see what happens with the show then. The game then, lads and lasses. Me and Henry will be starting about half an hour before, like you said. We will. It should be a lot of banter. Hopefully, it's going to be a good game more than anything, and hopefully United come out on top. But yeah, join us on Sunday for that one. Also, I'm doing the watch along later tonight just for the Champions League game. So if you're around, stop in now. Be watching Liverpool, hopefully getting smashed up by Atletico. We'll see, and obviously the PSG Dortmund game too is on at the same time. So stop by if you're available later for the watch along. But for now, please do us a favour. Please smash a cheeky little thumbs up on this video. Give it a share if you can. If you enjoyed it and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stick around for future shows. Every single Wednesday we do this show around about 1 or 2 p.m. The start time just change a bit. But we'll be back with plenty more content over the coming weeks for sure.
We're usually on at the right time. One last little question, Pig, before we sign off. I mean, you just said that, you're hoping that Atletico smash Liverpool. I understand that. Obviously, you don't want Liverpool to do well. You're a Manchester United fan. In general, let's say Chelsea, let's say Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur, whichever team it is that are kind of performing in Europe, do you want to see them do terribly badly against other teams on the continent or not? Your thoughts?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I want to see Liverpool get smashed up against Atletico Madrid, mate. I know in one regard it's good for English football to have them doing well in Europe, but this is Liverpool we're talking about. If it was Spurs, if it was Arsenal, honestly, my answer would be different. But if it's City, if it's Liverpool, no, mate. Absolutely.
No, but if it's Spurs or Arsenal, how far do you want them to go?
I'd want them to win it as opposed to anyone else. Barca. Sorry, I know that may seem a bit strange, but, they've never won it.
Interesting answer, yeah.
They've never won it. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. No, I'd rather an English team won it, but not Liverpool and not City, honestly, because they're just scum and you never hear the end of it.
Not City, because they're your arch enemies.
And Chelsea third as well. Like, I'd at least like to see Chelsea win it next, but then after that, Arsenal. Tottenham's the one out of the 5 there that I would most tolerate seeing lifting the Champions League, even though that's just not possible anymore because it got knocked out.
I mean, at least tolerate, but 2 seconds ago you said you'd want to see them win it against a European side. Is that right?
Yeah, if United are not in the competition, then I would hope Tottenham lifted the trophy for England. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but
I'm kind of along the lines of, like, I'd like to see any English team get right to the end, but yeah. I don't know if I'd ever want to see another English side actually win in the Champions League final, unless it was someone like random, like Leicester City or someone a bit different.
That's it. Not your rivals, like Arsenal. You wouldn't want Arsenal getting to the final and doing well, would you?
Of course not. No, I wouldn't want to see. No. I want to see Arsenal get to the final though. Even Arsenal. I'd rather see them do well in the Champions League
and then get smashed up by Barcelona. Well, we've already seen that.
purely for the fact that it's I am a supporter of the Premier League. I am. I want to see Premier League teams do well, but I don't want to see opposing Premier League teams lift trophies when Tottenham are not. So yes, I would support any Premier League team to get to the Champions League final, to the Europa League final. And I wouldn't want to see them lift the trophy unless I thought, well, they really deserve it, and it's kind of like, it's not one of our main rivals. That's kind of where I am.
Fair play, mate. Fair play. Well, please do tune in for the watch along. I just want to leave it on this note from the Saint, who comments: official Sheffield United says we're 4 times FA Cup winners. I'll just leave that with you, lads and lasses. Once again, though, shout out to Mark Sim for the quiz.
Shut up, Pig. Bad loser.
In my mind, I didn't really lose, so that's fine. I don't feel like I've lost.
I
feel like I've got the moral victory once again.
Do you know what?
once again.
The Saint. If you're not happy with Mark's in, we can have a vote on it and we'll get the Saint in next time. The Saint's doing the quiz from now on.
No, we love Mark.
You know I mean,
don't take any offence to that, Mark. I bloody love you, mate. You're a top man, and thank you so much for doing it, and you're a great quiz master. But yeah, Sheffield United won it 4 times. Mayors. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get on with the finish of the show. Shout out to you all for tuning in here. Nicola, Mrs. Piggy, see you soon. Rachel Manchester, Gary Wells, Long KM, Marky Sin, Devil of a Red, Gungshi. Who else is there? The Saint, of course. Pete Miller, thank you so much for getting in here. Everybody else, Makayu, Arthur of Us, Fitch 1001, Fox and Ram, DJ Samuel, and everybody else. If I've missed you out, thank you so much for getting involved. It's been a great show today. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyable. Thank you to Henry for joining me and making it such a great show.
He's a bit of a legend, isn't he? He called it. Is he
Yeah,
the guy
he's
that
called it a couple of times.
The young
Yeah.
lad, the young
That's
British
right,
lad.
yeah. Brummy lad, I think, wasn't he? I seem to remember.
Yeah, legend, mate. Still listening,
Yeah.
still following the show. Well done to you, Pete Miller. Thanks for phoning in that one time. We had a great chat.
Yes, mate. Well, we're going to do some standalone phone-in shows soon as well. That is the plan, and we'll take some calls here and there randomly as well. Like we did yesterday with Ring Collar stuff. But we will do that. So yeah, but please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Subscribe if you're new. You can follow the podcast on SoundCloud.com/FlyingPigPodcast, or search Flying Pig United, or search Pig and the Hen Show on your iTunes app, on your podcast app, which app you use to listen to podcasts. You should be able to find it. I'll upload that a bit later, so it will be available to all those audio files out there. Anyway, that's it. We'll leave it there. Thank you to all of you guys for tuning in. Thanks to Mark Sin once again. Thanks to Henry Hotspur once again. Come on, United. We're going to smash up Lask Linz tomorrow night, and then we're going to make a fool out of Jose on Sunday. Come on, United. Let's be freaking having ya. You've been watching the Pig.
Thanks to the Pig once again as well. Yeah.
Nice one. You've been watching the Pig and the Hen Show. I've been the Pig.
And I've been the Hen. Bug, bug.
And we'll see you on the next one. You stay classy. That's for you, Hen.
Yeah. Yeah, get your hat off.
And
Get
the
your
hen.
cheating mate off. Yeah.
Get your Sailor Moon outfit on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Get your Jenny from Pokemon cosplay outfit on, mate. Melter, you're not even going to smash those.
Mark's in. Get your dick out when no one else can see, mate.
Pig in the Hen Show, Pig in the Hen Show, Pig in the Hen Show.
Legends, have a great day. See you soon.
Hen Show,
Love
Pig
to
in the
all.
Hen Show.
Stay safe out there, people. And there we have it. Here's the rolling end credits for the Patreon Galaxy, the legends of hordes of bacon brigados who do support this channel. Thank you so much to the Patreoners out there. They are on this list, as you can see. Thank you to all of them. Thanks to everybody that also supports the channel in any way by watching them, liking them, sharing them, being a channel member. There's about 35 of you channel members now. So honestly, all of you, thank you so much. If you're not a channel member yet, consider becoming a channel member, because it's a great way to directly support what we're doing on this channel. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, follow us at Mr. Flying Pig HD, and also Henry_Hotspur on Twitter and various different social media platforms. You can't hear him, but I can hear him. Henry's having the piss and making it rain right now. That's it. I'm going to leave you to it. Stay classy. Enjoyed interacting with you as ever. This is the Pig. He's the Hen. Take it easy. And come on, United. We're going to smash up Jose's Motors on Sunday.